Stop recording. Oh, wait, that's default?
Yeah, that's default.
Interesting. Mine doesn't do that.
Maybe
Mine never did that.
No, mine always does that. So, or maybe I set it. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't think that's a default setting because I've been using basic, but I've been using it for like 5 years now.
Yeah. So yeah, we're live. Or shit, we're live.
Hmm.
So yeah, so Elon Musk, the true horror, the true SCP out there. Let's be honest here, he's the true SCP.
Yeah.
Think about it. He's extremely smart. He's going to change the world for the better or the worse, of course. And
he wants to just leave the world, so that's...
See, did he ever consider why he wants to leave the world? And he's just going to burn the place down and go on to the next planet to burn? Just saying. It is a possibility. Now, given his interests.
Yeah, sure. Even the place where he wants to go, the Mars one, the fast way he said to do it was nuke it. So,
I want to destroy the planet to rebuild the planet now. Yes,
theoretically not wrong, but practically there's all kind of issues that could come.
See, think when you nuke a planet, there are other issues. Just not the heat. Alon, I thought he was smarter than this. You can't just nuke a planet and expect it to be fine. What's wrong with you?
No, in a way, he has the G.I. Joe solution to get rid of all nuclear weapons on Earth.
Yeah, I don't think how I put Mars isn't big enough for Russia's arsenal, let alone the world's arsenal. You know how many nukes we have just lying around?
Yeah, I know. You know what I'm referring to, right? The G.I. Joe solution.
Yeah, I know G.I. Joe. The bad movie, the terrible movie, the movie I want to forget.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what, we'll just launch nukes. It's like, see, first of all, okay, so...
It's like Angry Birds nukes.
Yeah, Angry Birds. It's a terrible movie.
Oh my goodness. It was a fun watch.
It's like one of those movies you have to get drunk to enjoy. Because, like when I first saw it, I was looking for continuity with the first one, which was bad, but wasn't as bad as this one. You get what I mean, right? I was like, where's this guy? Where's that guy? I'm like, oh yeah, it's a dumb movie. Don't think too much about it.
I had a blast watching it.
Like how I put it.
It was so fun.
It's fun, but it's bad. It's fun because it's bad. Like, it's so bad it's actually funny. You get what I mean, right? It's not funny because it's good. It's like, good. It's not fun because it's good. It's like so bad that it's actually good. It's comedy, but doesn't want to be comedy.
It's hidden comedy.
It's comedy gold. It's comedy gold. It's like, yes.
Guilty pleasure.
And I won't even call it guilty. It's just comedy gold. See, it's not like you have to feel guilty to enjoy it. You can just enjoy it as it is. It's like, I'm like, yes, the grandmaster of some Japanese ninja clan happens to be of African heritage. I'm like, yes, of course. What's wrong with that? I'm like, there's nothing wrong with that, but yeah, it's like every clan I know, like 1 in every 5 clans I know has a grandmaster of African origin. Then the walls is there. Yeah, but it's not as absurd as the animated series, which it's based off.
Yeah, I never really got into the animated G.I. Joe. The only thing I knew about G.I. Joe other than the movies was the toys. And I didn't really try to go into it.
So the toys, the animated series was designed to sell toys. It's like Transformers.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so like Transformers.
Exactly. I think it's both owned by the same company. Let me just check if G.I. Joe is owned by Hasbro.
Both? Yeah, it is. G.I. Joe is made by, the toys are made by Hasbro if I'm not wrong.
Let me check. Yep, Hasbro. Yeah, they're using the same strategy. If it works, we'll do it. funny thing, I would say that it's the same strategy I tried to use with the movies. They're like, Transformers was not the most intellectual movie, but still a hit.
I feel like they kind of beat the dead horse too much by the end of it.
No, I would say the thing about Transformers is it's Michael Bay. Okay, you don't expect anything too serious. You're like explosions, big robots fighting each other.
Yeah, but it kind of became like DC dark kind of.
Nah,
towards the
say,
end.
come on. DC has source material. What source
Yeah,
material
that's what I'm
does Transformers?
saying. Without source material, without anything, I was like, why are you making it like this?
Now, see, how about Transformers? Have you seen
Like,
have you seen the original animated
how
series?
many? See, I have seen 3 Transformers. Have I seen 3 or more? I've seen 3, and I saw Transformers. Like I saw the animated series before I've seen the movie.
And do you know what the motivation for the Decepticons is in the animated? They want to get drunk. That's it. They want to get drunk. They want to turn
No,
electricity
which one
into
is
some
this?
liquid. The original animated series.
Because I have seen 3. There was one called Armada. There was one called Cybertron, and there was one called Prime, which was quite recent compared to.
No,
the
see,
other.
I'm talking about the original animated series. The source material.
Oh, you're talking about the one with the box truck.
Yeah, that one.
No, I've not seen that.
See, in that one, so the entire objective
I've
of the
seen
Decepticons.
the oldest one I've seen. I think is the one with like the forward separate cabin and separate hump kind of an engine. The one like the Indian trucks.
Okay, not that one.
The Russian truck one.
No, not that one. I'm talking about the OG Transformers, the one where Megatron is a gun.
I mean right. The latest one is kind of they try to have the same designs as the original one, no? Which is the one which is going on right now?
I don't know.
There's one going on right now in which like there's no humans, there's no Earth. It's on Cybertron. The
So it's like a
story is kind
prequel.
of switched about,
So it's like a
and
prequel.
it's like it's all the character designs of the original first series.
Okay, so it's like a darker reimagining of the original series.
Yeah, I guess.
Because the original one it's dumb. Okay, it's for little kids. The entire point of the Decepticons is they want to steal electricity. They want to convert it into some liquid, which they consume.
Energon. I remember now.
Which is alcohol, which is basically Transformer alcohol. They want to get drunk. That's it. That's their objective. They want to get drunk. Like, see, so the Transform movies after the second one, it kind of got stale. Even though the second one was. Yeah, but we had to give it to Michael Bay. He managed to turn a series about extraterrestrials, aliens that want to get drunk, into something that has explosions. G.I. Joe, on the other hand, has everything to separate.
See, for me in Transformers, it was fun to watch till like the nano transformations started coming in. Like it's like they turn into sand. They turn from robot to sand to car, and then back from car to sand to robot. That wasn't fun.
What was
it was more fun to see the gears.
Oh, you mean by the third movie?
The third movie was the third movie the one where they were Dinobots?
I think no, that's the fourth one.
Yeah, then the fourth one, because in the fourth one that happened. So the Autobots' response to the Decepticons getting that one up in technology was to go and get the Dinobots.
They dig up some dinosaurs. Yes, that always works. Val would be proud.
If you can't keep up with the future, dig up the past.
Return to monkey. Embrace tradition. Return to monkey. Transformer edition. No, it's reached a
together strong.
It's reached a point where it's like each movie, retcons the origin story of the Autobots and the Decepticons. Each movie does that.
Yeah.
But then again, you're not supposed to take it seriously, so.
Yeah, I mean, no, it was. There was something different with the animated series which made it fun to watch.
Because it's designed for kids. As in, it has fun in mind. It's not like we're trying to tell a serious plot about a civil war.
Yeah, it was actually interesting with like all the transformations, and then the most fun I had was the whole plot around the minicons. That was very interesting. That was very interesting to watch as a young kid. This is like by the third movie, they're They basically have Tony Stark's nano suit. By the fourth movie, they are infighting amongst themselves. Almost half of them have gone loose in their mind. It's basically Family Feud.
No, it isn't. It's not basically. It is Family Feud because I will put like actually it is Family Feud. So
No, I mean Family Feud within the Autobots by the third, fourth movie.
I want to say that the entire Transformer, the film series, is a Family Feud. Think about it, okay?
Optimus and spoiler alert, Optimus and Megatron are like brother kind of figures.
No, that no. I mean like Optimus's ancestor and Megatron's boss are brothers.
Ah, okay.
So the Megatron's boss is a Transformer called the Fallen, and the Fallen used to be
Fallen used to be the original story.
No.
Oh.
That's the movie.
That's the movie story, right?
Yeah.
So
And
I think according to the original story, these two come from the same family, like really up top.
No, they don't have a family. They're all made in a factory, so they're all brothers.
I mean, not like biological family, but
oh yeah, they're both.
Neither of them were part of the Prime was something more of a physical hand down.
Yeah, it's a title.
And Megatron wanted it, but then Optimus got it and stuff like that.
Okay, someone said potato. Hello, Zarak. Potato it is.
Potato.
No, potato is it's a new currency of Russia. Each potato is worth 10,000 rubles right now.
And we go from Cybertron crashing into Russia in 2 seconds.
No, potato. We're going to potato. They're going to potato. It's like
potato supreme. All hail potato.
Yeah, we are turning into potato. Like if we eat enough potatoes, we will turn into potato. Now, actually, if you think about this, since we're talking about inflation, have you seen how much the prices have risen over here over the last few weeks?
Nah, not really.
I mean, the cab rides have increased. The food.
Oh yeah, I haven't really been traveling.
Oh, the food prices increased slightly.
Food, I think I have seen because I do order frequently.
Yeah, that has increased.
I do think I have seen noticed an increase in food prices.
It has increased. It has increased. And even potato prices increased. Which is sad. Potatoes for everyone.
Premium potatoes.
Potatoes are for everyone. The funny thing is, if potato prices rising in, let's say, Germany or the States makes sense. Why is it rising here? Don't we have an exclusive deal with the Ruskies for cheap fuel?
Yeah, who knows?
I
mean, the amount of fuel we are getting is also negligible. So.
Yeah, but why are we buying that? Let's see. My take is, if you're gonna go in bed with an autocratic regime, just go all in.
That makes as much sense to me as it makes buying 10 Apaches. What are you gonna do with 10 of them? They're trophy pieces.
No, they just show the
They're good helicopters, but you need them in quantity. 10 of them aren't gonna defeat an entire proper army.
No, see, Fuji, how do I put it? It's like yeah, you know how Indians buy stuff and with installments. They pay $50 for something. It's like the Indian government they might have gone to Lockheed Martin, Boeing, right? Being like, listen, we'd be like, listen, you give us 100, we'd pay in installments. Boeing would have told them no, you gotta pay a fixed amount. They're like, fine, we'll take what we have. What do you have?
No, see, the funny thing is that was the Air Force which ordered, I think, 10 or 15. The Army's ordered only 6.
See, they're just trying it out. They're trying to get the feel of it. And once they get the feel of it, they'll be like, you know what?
And Boeing apparently briefed them on Boeing knows their shit, and they apparently briefed them on buying. They're figuring out a cheap way for. I think they did the news that I saw. They did a presentation for the F-15, F-18, and Apache as a package. Some cheap way they were talking about.
No, actually, see, the thing is, having the F-18 and the Apache at the same time is a pretty good thing. So the F-18 is excellent for electronic warfare. So send a couple of F-18s to jam a radar, and then you can send the Apache gunships to take stuff out.
Yeah.
So see, Boeing has a plan, but what they don't realize is the Indian plan is freestyle it.
Yeah, your plan isn't gonna work.
No, see, our plan is Our plan is we'll send in the Apaches. The Pakistanis will run screaming. That's our plan. It works in this specific situation, but I don't think it'll work in every situation. Or
Potato seems to have created some confusion.
because potato is pop, yeah. You know what they should do? They should make a potato powder helicopter. Biofuel. Think about it.
Oh, potato fires
What?
instead of hellfires.
Yeah, shoot potatoes at your enemy. Feed them. Just feed your enemies. End wars by feeding them.
Anti-tank potato missile.
Yeah, just feed your enemies. They'll surrender.
Oh, imagine the chain gun has fries in it.
No. Fries aren't aerodynamic enough. Potatoes perfect.
This sounds like we're slowly making a McDonald's helicopter.
Oh yes, see that would be like America's secret weapon. How to bring freedom and democracy to a country. Send the mech the mech gunners.
There'll be the cheap Coke or Pepsi. What is it? Rockets, unguided rockets.
No, it's called the mech gunship. It's the mech gunship.
Mech gunship. No, I'm just imagining parts of the helicopter right now. So it would have the what do you call it? The Coke or Pepsi unguided rockets. It would have what was the, so potato wouldn't make exactly sense, but what is that? Puffs. The
no spuds. The what's the baked potato.
Baked potato or something would be the anti-tank missiles. The chain gun would be fries. The longbow radar would be the burger.
Oh, yeah, so funny thing, okay, there's a guy who was hungry, so he parked a helicopter in the McDonald's takeaway, bought stuff and went back on air.
Yeah, Chad.
Oh, another guy, millionaires hired helicopter, the same guy hires helicopter to go to McDonald's while on holiday. And guess where he's from?
I don't know. I do know one thing though, that either in Nigeria or somewhere else, the extremely rich folk from there, they send people, they buy flights and visas and stuff, and they send people to buy pizzas from UK and come back.
Yeah, that's Nigeria. That's most probably Nigeria.
Yeah.
So Nigeria is like one of those countries where the rich are ultra wealthy and the poor are extremely poor.
That is so fun. You're sending a person.
No, you think there's
on a flight.
if you think that's absurd, like wealthy families from Middle East, what they do is they book a two-way flight to the Netherlands. Okay, they don't even get a Dutch visa. They just go to the Netherlands, go shopping in duty free, and come back. Imagine that. Okay, so this guy who flew his helicopter to McDonald's is a Russian oligarch, because of course he is. Who else would do that? Now just imagine, he called up Putin and be like, do you want a Big Mac? Do you want President Putin? Do you want Big Mac? Does it come with vodka? Yes, I want Happy Meal, and please make sure toy is there. Now be See, to be honest, I don't blame a man for wanting a toy.
Yeah.
The
only reason I stopped getting Happy Meals was because the toys started becoming shit.
No, the quality is reduced.
Still buy them.
No, the quality is reduced drastically.
Quality is reduced, but even like overall, what the toy is itself is also become really shit compared to.
No, the best time was back in the day when McDonald's made its own toys.
Yeah, I'd say early 2000s was nice. I don't know before that.
Before that was even their own toys.
Early 2000s, I remember. I really very how do I put this? I very closely missed like this thing. What? Dragon Ball Z toys. They are really good Dragon Ball Z toys compared to the shit they sell nowadays.
See, nowadays they're doing licensed toys. Back in that late 90s, early 2000s, it was.
Nowadays it's like Kinder Joy, but both Kinder Joy and McDonald's are shit.
Oh yeah, the funny thing is Kinder Joy is banned in Germany.
Yeah.
It's a good thing we don't have Holocaust any of our German friends on stream.
Yeah, no, I actually did. I do remember mentioning Kinder Joys to Oracles, and I completely forgot the word
What?
Kinder was German. So he was like, I was like, "Do you know what Kinder Joy is?" He's like, "Of course I know. The word itself is German."
Yeah, sad thing is, it's like I lead others to a treasure I cannot possess. Oracles right now. Oracles right now.
Yeah, actually, that black cloak and everything would suit him also.
You know what? Turn that on him and make this whole store a Kinder egg. You know, I like.
I don't know. Oracles is very weirdly. I realize now, Oracles is become connected to Kinder Joy multiple times.
That's because Kinder means kid in German.
It's really funny because the first thing I remember with him is like I think we all three of us were there, and then you had to leave early, so it was just us two,
Okay.
and we kept on talking, and I don't know from which one tangent to the another tangent where we went, but chat, you won't be able to see this. I'll send it to you in this thing.
Okay, I'll just pull it
Discord.
up.
It ended with this meme, and he loved it.
Oh yeah, so you sent this to me. I know you sent this to me.
Yeah.
You sent this to me. You know, back in the day, Kinder Joy was an actual egg. Like not like this, not like the half, but it was an actual egg.
Oh, like the calcium shell egg?
No, not like that. It's like imagine the calcium shell was
full
chocolate.
chocolate. Oh.
And the yolk was like a little plastic ball which you had to open, and there was a toy inside.
Oh, that's so much cooler.
No, the reason they changed it to this shit, like I don't like the taste of
Was
this
it
one.
more costly?
No, the thing is transporting that was tough because it gets damaged easily. The outer shell was chocolate.
Ah, right.
But that was the real one. That was the real Kinder Joy. This thing
But
is
I mean, if you give that chocolate the plastic shell of the current Kinder Joy, I feel like it would survive.
no, it won't, because the thing is the current one is still pretty flexible.
Flimsy, yeah,
Flimsy,
right. Except for the lining where it is attached, the rest of it is quite flimsy.
yeah. So and what they've done is they've kind of turned into a weird paste-like thingy. So it's fine now.
I see again the only reason I ever bought a Kinder Joy was for the toy. Even that slowly I stopped buying because I don't know. This is more of a branching into more of a general topic. Everything kids related slowly seems to have gone to shit. Like even cartoons.
Nah, see, it's not just kids. Everything's gone to shit. Okay, so I was okay, Chad. Off stream, I was telling this to Fuji, but I watched Narcos again recently. Okay, and one thing I realized is this is an actual true event. After they killed Escobar, they actually took a picture with his body. I'm not gonna comment on the ethical, ramifications of that because you know why.
I mean, security forces do that.
Oh no, nowadays you do that's a war crime. It's actually classified as a war crime.
No, I mean, killing like out of something like a terrorist or a smuggler.
No, I don't mean that. I don't mean killing them. I'm talking about
Killing and then taking a photo.
yeah, killing and taking photos is a war crime.
Ah,
It's a war crime. You're not supposed to humiliate their corpse after you're done with it. So now, I'm not saying it's a good thing or bad thing, but what I said that back in the day, if you did that, no one really gave a shit. People like, yeah, he deserved it. But let's take, I don't know, recently there was a case of a Navy SEAL who took a picture with the corpse of a Daesh fighter, a teenager. That thing, he got court-martialed, that turned into an international shitstorm. Now one place that will become extra sensitive. I don't know. I'm not justifying taking bodies with pictures with a dead body, but I'm just saying that we've become a bit more sensitive. Oh yeah, Fuji, I've sent you the egg. That's how it used to be.
Yeah, I saw. By
yeah,
the way, does Red Bull still have that gives you wings in their advertisement?
I don't know about the can, but the adverts at least.
No, in the can it doesn't say it because I have the can in my hand.
No, in can doesn't say it, but in the advertisement still say it.
Can I do the suing thing?
The what thing?
The suing them for money.
You know
that, right? Do you know that?
You know they put a star next to their. It gives you wings. for this exact
Oh,
same
they
thing,
did, damn it.
for this exact same purpose. No, it's like, see,
I need to find an advert where it's only audio and there's no written.
no, everything, even if it's just audio, there'll be like a star there, or there'll be a guy who speaks so fast that you won't understand what he says, but it basically means that, you cannot sue us. Like, for example,
That first guy who thought of it.
so if you're Indian chat, most of you would know a company called Dream 11. They sponsor the Indian national cricket team. The funny thing is that they
Yes, yeah.
okay, so what do you think they do for you?
Isn't it like online gambling?
Oh yeah, so you know. So the ads, chat, the ads are pretty, like, when you see the ads, you feel like, inspired to do something. You have these guys talk about how they
When
had
I was
shitty chairs. When I was young, one man helped me. One man believed in me. My neighbor gave me shoes. My uncle dropped me off for my practice.
For that one Korean viewer, when tigers used to smoke.
I've been like, when I was young, I had to walk like 500 miles to school, and I had time for cricket practice. But look at me now, I'm a big player. If you believe in your hopes and you work with, and you have people who believe in you, you can succeed. I'm like, what's that got to do with gambling? Yeah, sure, good message. What's that got to do with gambling?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, the thing is, like, so legally in India, I'm quite sure in every country. I know about US laws.
No, there are places where you can, like.
No, I'm not talking about gambling. You can gamble. You cannot advertise gambling.
No,
As
I'm
gambling.
saying there are places where you can.
Advertise gambling is gambling.
Yeah.
And where is this magical lander?
Wait, I'll have to search. I don't remember off the top of my head, but.
Let me check places.
Indian FBI is gonna have their eyebrows raised suddenly. Fuji is typing on his PC. Which country is advertising gambling legally?
Now, see, you can advertise a gambling company, but you should not explicitly state gambling.
Okay.
I mean, like, see, Dream 11 advertises itself with, those bullshit inspirational stuff.
That is weird.
And because I know for a fact that in US you can advertise gambling because my employer kind of deals with that. I know in India you can advertise gambling because, I live here. Now, same thing with alcohol. Over here you can advertise alcohol as alcohol. And it's the same thing in many countries. That's why you have these.
Yeah, for the longest time, I didn't understand why Carlsberg was giving like water advertisements. I was like, what? Heineken and Carlsberg why are they giving water advertisement? Aren't they alcohol companies?
If you thought that was funny, you'll have like guy. You'll think it's a motorcycle advert, but it's actually a advertisement for whiskey.
Oh no, what was the recent one? Was it Heineken? Or, I don't know which one was it. There's this famous British. I think it's a British actor. He's quite old now. He's not that old, but yeah, he's a bit old now. He's basically saying how the company invests in everything from like relief to medical research and development, R&D to like space exploration.
Yes, it's basically them saying we're not the bad guys. We're not the bad guys. Now my personal favorite are cigarette ads.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen many. At least not in the recent.
No, so many cigarette companies don't put their ads on television. Like for example, over here, cigarettes are controlled by one company more or less. It's a monopoly in this country, which is controlled by the government. It's called ITC, Indian Tobacco Company.
Yep.
The entire non-tobacco division is basically marketing. They make notebooks for school kids. They make stationery.
Yeah, see, that was what I felt weird a lot of times. It felt like on products with nothing to do with tobacco. It will be like ITC something. It would feel like ITC has approved this product. And like,
no, that's what.
What does ITC have to do with this?
So the thing is, my mom was in quality assurance like I am, but she was in the chemical side. So she knows this loophole. They use this loophole. Like she told me, She told me, my sister. My sister's like, why do we have so many ITC numbers? Yeah, it's them market advertising to you. And ITC does a lot of charity. They're like, yes, we gave like half a million village kids school shoes so they can go to school. I'm like, yes, God shall forgive your sins. For the 1 million people who give lung cancer to.
Yeah, exactly. Who gave their fathers cigarettes?
No, it's like, after you murder a person's dad, you feel bad for murder a person, you feel bad for them, so you take care of the kids. Okay, the irony is I invested a lot in ITC.
Medieval shit.
Funny thing is I invested a lot in ITC. And see, I may be shitting on them now.
This one has the FSSAI thingy.
What?
Red Bull.
All of them do. You need that to operate in India.
Yeah. No, I was just checking if Red Bull also has ITC on it.
So
if I'm not wrong, a lot of medical stuff has ITC on it.
Yeah, it's because the thing is, tobacco companies surprisingly invest a lot in pharmaceuticals. For one simple thing. They have to justify their existence. They say what they do is it's like they win both sides. It's like they're playing both sides. So once the person gets lung cancer, you invest in medicine and you get the money out of it. So and many tobacco companies invest a lot in. They have a lot of insurance. Because so chat for full disclosure, I may be shitting on tobacco now, but my family has made quite a lot of money from tobacco. There I said it.
Tobacco related companies, I think, would be a better way to put it.
I mean, we don't have a tobacco farm, if that's what I think, because tobacco farms are highly regulated here. Rather, we invested in tobacco companies. Like I invested in ITC. Dad invested in Philip Morris. That's the guys who. Oh yeah, Shrav's asking us about SCP. Yeah, we'll go there, Shrav. Thanks for bringing us back to the topic. we're talking about the true.
Alright, Shrav's there.
Hi Shrav, we're talking about
how is SCP going? We went from what all did we go from? We went from Elon Musk being an SCP to making a Mech helicopter, a McDonald's helicopter. To where else did we go?
Yeah, we were talking
we went to like
tobacco.
Kinder Joy.
Yeah, Kinder Joy, the illegal stuff in Germany. Oh yeah, Clough says hi. Tell her we say hi.
Oh hi Clough.
So yeah, we're talking about tobacco. The best return on investment I've had in quite some while. There's tobacco and war. Tobacco, war, and oil.
After talking about internet, current affairs, potatoes, chocolate, and tobacco, we are gonna go next. We are gonna go to SCP. Oh right, yeah, we talked about Transformers and all that. Also.
Yeah, Transformers and G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe, yeah.
Hasbro's attempt. I'll say it's the sad attempt at pretending that they're not a monopoly. Even when they are. Okay, so here go. The plan was I will get Fuji to watch according to me the best SCP movie of all time.
Okay, so a good thing I have all my lights.
Yeah, it's called 096. See, or 096 if you're British. Or if you're what some people call the civilized world, but I'm gonna call it 096 because that sounds cooler. Okay, so let me just see it.
Wait, just a second, I'll get some water while you set it up. Yeah.
So yeah, chat, tobacco is good investment, and the thing is, as they say, don't get high on your own supply, so that's why I don't smoke. And the thing about tobacco is many people say that it's just tobacco that's what's that thing called? What's the substance in tobacco, chat? A bit of help here. What's that chewing gum? Nicotine. So the thing about that is many people claim that nicotine is only addictive thing, but it's actually more complicated than that because there's a psychological aspect associated with tobacco as well. Now I'll just be talking about tobacco till Fuji comes back. So the psychological aspect is you get addicted to the... so tobacco is an excellent painkiller. Like carbon monoxide produced in tobacco or carbon dioxide is an excellent painkiller. So that's why. We're back, Fuji?
Yep.
I was telling them why tobacco is addictive.
Apart
from the nicotine part, the psychological aspect as well.
Gotcha.
Okay, here we go. The best... Let me just share my screen so it becomes easier for you. Where is it? There we go. Alright, chat. I have a feeling these guys won't copyright strike me, but if they do, I'll just have to delete the stream. Okay, here we go.
So it may become an unarchived stream.
I know what.
This could be exclusive content for live viewers.
Yeah. So what's the worst case scenario? I'll just even if it's blocked, I'll still have access to download it. I'll download it and black out this entire part. They can't copyright the noises we make. Here we go. Okay, definitely. And the thing is, this entire thing was shot in Pittsburgh.
Ah, okay.
Just letting you know. So here we go.
Viewers' discretion is advised. I never fully understood that. Ooh, good.
Big brother, this is Echo Romeo Alpha.
Good audio.
Target is secure. RTP.
Hey, is that an Osprey? Okay.
No, it's an international organization, right? So
No, I was talking about the V-22 Osprey.
Yeah, it is a V-22 Osprey. Now, one thing is that they're supposed to be an international organization, so anything they want, they have access to it.
Ah, sweet.
No, they have nukes as well.
Whoop.
No, the SCP Foundation has nukes.
Sweet.
Anything they need, the world governments give them.
That's good. Good CGI models. Okay, this is real.
No, certain scenes it becomes tough to figure out what CGI or real. Or mixture of both.
See, now that is where Wolverine came out of.
No, Wolverine didn't do that. Okay, Wolverine's like precise. That's like an explosion.
No, but the original one where he came out of the experiment where he was like all dazed and all that was the hole he came out of.
Yeah, it wasn't this big, okay. 096 isn't Wolverine.
096.
096 isn't. Shit, it's an ad. It's an ad.
Secure gun.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Hey,
No, it's an ad.
Oh.
I'll just, put it back on when
SCPs.
this is the true SCP. This is the true SCP. The true SCP is the YouTube's ad algorithm. Okay, yeah, it's gone. It's gone. We've contained it.
Secure contained protect SCP. Huh?
That's what it stands for.
The only thing I can think of looking at that logo is, damn, I could make that in 10 minutes.
From a logical perspective, they're not even supposed to have a logo.
Yeah.
Like, why do they even have a logo? Which they have on their ID cards. I'm not talking about this film as a whole. I'm just talking about the entire concept of them having a logo.
Okay. We have a Discovery Channel lady seemingly interviewing an old Nat Geo guy. I mean, that's the vibe they give off.
096-1-Alpha. I am here with Dr. Daniels. Hello, Doctor.
Have you caught it yet?
Yeah, even has the accent.
Please secure.
Oh, thank God.
We do have some questions on it, so it's very difficult to get a clear picture of the case.
In a way, he's a Nat Geo guy.
Yes.
Instead of tigers and lions, he takes care of weird stuff.
I was on an excavation in the mountains, preparing labs.
Oh, he even has the lines correct.
Who's in charge of the lab?
Dr. Alexei.
Yeah, he has a Russian friend as well, see?
096 is being kept in class 13 containment. No windows, no cameras, no one it is possible to see its face.
Okay, so for
Oh, it
context,
has a face.
okay, so 096 is an SCP, but if you see its face, it'll kill you. Wherever you are,
Oh,
they'll find you and kill you.
it's the. Hey, I found out the mystery of the SCP-096. It's
It's all
Enderman from Minecraft.
yeah, it is Enderman. It's albino Enderman.
Albino.
It is albino Enderman.
The instrumentation or life support system is in strict buttons.
Exactly was contained in the building.
Been informed of the exact detail yet.
Yes, of course. Apologies, Dr. We're a bit disorganized ourselves.
Are they watching us?
Specific.
The O5, are they watching us?
Oh, fine.
Okay, so the O5 is their leadership. It's a council of 13 individuals. 13.
Ah, why is it called O5?
Oh, so they have levels of access. Oh, 1, 2, 3, and 4 and 5.
Ah, okay. Got it. It's like rank.
Maybe now, listen to me when I say we need to kill it.
This could have been a catastrophe.
And it's nothing to do with the NATO Code 05. The US Army Code 05, which is a different thing.
No, well,
That's
I
an
don't think many
officer-
people know that, but
It's an officer rank.
yeah.
Me.
Instructor meeting, shall we? Relax.
Ah.
All protocols have been followed.
See, it is Enderman.
All personnel inside.
Yeah, it's literally like
It's Enderman. It's albino Enderman.
Was just the start.
it's a much like you gave
Odd takes on.
yeah RTX on.
Michael Allen and researcher Gerald Landry. Reporting an event with 096. At approximately 1557, audio blips were picked up by sensors Alpha 1 and Alpha 2. There it is again.
So is it like
Images are
harmless
showing
if you don't look at it?
096 on the
Yeah,
north wall.
that's why they have it in a cube.
Stationary.
Oh, so it's harmless if you don't look at it. That's
Now the thing is, when I say look at it, just like
It should hold, right? Just get a hold of Alexis.
I mean,
Okay,
see, thing
that
is,
does
it's,
not look harmless.
No, it's not like you have to look at it directly in its face. If you have a picture of it, that counts as well.
Oh.
So no, so if
Interesting.
you're like, if you're on the other side of the world and you just happen to come across a picture of it, it's gonna find you, it's gonna kill you.
My goodness, that's interesting. That containment breaking was not that realistic, but yeah,
It's Enderman.
It became clear that
The Enderman is
096's
quite realistic. I
target,
mean,
which
well
was
made.
096-1 was nowhere close
It's an introvert. Simple. Doesn't want people to see its face. It's an introvert.
to the spy.
It's one of us.
Wait. In the event of a stage 1 breach, the automated protocols ensure that a sleeping
The
agent.
automated protocols failed to start. In the event of an automation failure, it would be up to the operations chief, in this case, Dr. Alexei.
Where the hell was he?
He was found hiding in a janitorial closet in Division 3.
Oh, dead. I thought. Okay, that went from hiding to dead really fast.
Lexi, you idiot.
I'm sorry for your loss, Doctor, but we do have a lot more to cover.
He has the shaking hands also like
After
perfectly
breaching the
down.
base, 096
Yeah,
straight back.
he's shitting himself in fear right now.
Oh, Ethan!
See,
Big brother, this is Hog.
One approaching us.
Yeah, what's under DCS graphics?
Copy Hog 1. Maintain vector.
Let's go. Oh, that thing's out in the open.
yeah, it's running.
Didn't she tell us
think I've got
that
something.
it was contained?
No, so all this
They
is like a
caught
flash.
it, right,
No,
I
no,
see.
this is before they caught it.
Oh, this is okay.
The
I mean,
entire
but-
this entire thing is how they caught it.
But isn't like if the pilot sees it, it
Yeah,
will
but-
kill the pilot also. No?
The pilot's like pilot can't see it.
Target visual.
Ah, okay.
He just sees an albino blip.
Clear for strafing round over.
You're clear.
Why do you need a strafing round? Just AGM it.
Okay, so think about the SCP foundations. In some cases, they don't want to kill it. Most cases, they don't want to kill it. They just want to capture it.
Why?
I'll get into that later.
Yeah, sure. You want a cool shot with the 8x gun, sure. Not bad. Okay. Interesting.
Ineffective on target. Copy. going hot on 2 Mavericks.
There we go.
3, 2, 1.
Fire.
Direct hit. No effect. I repeat, no effect on target.
Pretty strong.
Copy, Hog 1.
I guess
Return to
even
base.
if they wanted to
Retrieval
kill it,
team.
it's not that
They
easy.
can't kill it. Till it kills the person that saw its face.
096 proved difficult to keep track of. It doesn't show up on satellite thermal imaging oftentimes. We were only able to track it by the path of destruction it left. About 2 hours into pursuit, it crossed a state highway. We were lucky it was slightly traveled at the time, but 12 people still saw its face.
We needed more preparation. For when, not if, but when there was a breach.
You did have a considerable budget, Doctor, but it seems that most of your focus was on the scramble goggles.
Yes, I've said time and again that the scramble program was the only achievable technology to give us a fighting chance. Let me do proper research. As I said, it has always been.
Another ad.
Doctor,
I mean, this is pretty standard. Like some guy who already has the solution to the issue and is the institution that screws them over, and they don't
Yeah.
realize until it's too late.
Yeah, okay, so there's gonna be another ad, so I'll just let the ad skip. You know,
Yeah.
the funny thing is,
NFT
normally I don't get to these many ads.
Oh no, it's I had to ask somebody about this, but YouTube seems to have made like ads really compulsory, like some pirated website.
I mean that. I mean like even today, I didn't have the same number of ads.
No, I have clearly seen. When was it? Since the past 2 months, the number of advertising you can't
No,
skip on a video
That has increased. That I
that
agree.
is rapidly increased.
No, that has
And
increased.
like I have clicked on some music videos like 10 times and the ad still plays. And like I refreshed it 10 times, the 11th time the ad will still be there.
Okay, so yeah, the ads are over.
There we go.
Oh shit.
When?
Doctor, please, we have a lot more to cover. Finally, 096 reached victim 096-1, a young man who lived on a small farm with the mountains. With his wife and newborn child.
Ouch. Yikes.
No, I find it funny that she's just walking towards it.
Yikes.
Are you bothered by something, Dr. Daniels?
You just said
No
a
shit.
horrific thing and you're like,
Are you bothered?
are you bothered by it?
She requested a place to culture in 096, which is me.
Humane? There's nothing human about that thing.
Yes, Doctor, people have died. Isn't that a tragedy?
This lady is more scary.
See, that's the thing about the Foundation. It's run by psychopaths.
Our only concern is to secure, contain, and protect. Which brings us to the next point. Your scramble goggles.
Hey, HT, what is that? The Vive.
Yeah.
The 3D VR goggle.
Mixed reality goggles. Each eye is fed with an AI. Detects the scrubs out and senses its
Brilliant solution to a very complicated problem. Expensive too. It's a shame.
What?
Let's continue.
See, they have a Reaper drone as well.
Reaper.
Down 1, be advised.
Yeah, an E10 couldn't do shit. What does an Reaper
No,
do?
it's surveillance.
It's just surveillance. Okay. Okay, Mavericks couldn't do it, so now soldiers. Oh, those soldiers have that that's Krabble thingy.
Yeah.
Okay. So wait, but if you can't see it, it can still like see you and like come up to
Yeah,
you,
the
right?
thing
If
is,
you attack it.
if you see its face,
Copy. Marker
if you don't see its
placed.
face, in case like this, it's fine. It's cool.
No, but if I am shooting at it and throughout the whole thing I'm wearing this goggle and I don't see it.
No, then you should be
It-
fine.
Oh, it won't be able to
See
do
the
anything.
back.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Moving to you, Alpha.
Mavericks didn't do damage. How will bullets do damage?
And they're gonna bag it. They're not gonna shoot it.
Oh, it will let them back it?
Yeah, let them bag it.
Initiate bagging.
It's pretty docile till you see its face.
Ah,
See, it's crying. It's an introvert.
What was that? Shit! Something's wrong. Scramble is ineffective. Fuck! Engage! Alpha and Bravo, fall back.
well, they're done for.
The entirety of MTF
Hey, one of them didn't die.
Oh, they're all dead too.
8.
No, but in the white
Yeah.
dots falling over, one of them didn't fall over.
Yet, maybe they cut it off. They're all dead.
We had
They should have worked.
Budget restraints.
Tests. They were supposed to work.
That's more of, theory versus practical.
all of this brings us to the source of this tragedy.
So she still hasn't explained how they finally caught it.
And they backed it and brought it back, I guess.
Let's see, what is the source? What is this?
I believe the important part is still in the envelope.
Is this?
Yes, it was an original photograph of 096 in the wild.
Someone photographed it.
We dated the photograph to the 1980s. It seems the original photographer and all of its subsequent viewers were completely unaware of 096's presence until a young man found house like this.
This has been scratched out by hand. By who? How?
Your scramble goggles proved to be somewhat useful.
Oh yeah, so there's only one man left.
Ah, see, he survived, I told you.
He dies later.
Ah, unfortunately. Oh, he hasn't looked at the face yet. And these
Oh,
good
it's
soldiers,
Echo Romeo Alpha 1.
they've got some
What's
balls.
wrong?
It's a shitty job, but I guess it pays.
I mean, you need to have some different level.
He balls of titanium for this job.
Yeah, I don't think getting paid is enough of a incentive
No,
for
maybe
this.
it's more of if we don't do this, who would?
I guess. Oh shit. And these got some balls like looking around the place while that thing is right there. I wouldn't be able to do that. What if you like touched it or something?
Nothing will happen.
I am blessed.
Ah,
Copy Echo Romeo Alpha. Move to extraction.
wait.
So the two guys.
Ah, okay.
Oh, was it one guy?
It was two guys. Ah, what?
It's two guys.
Big brother.
Oh, it's gonna come for the guy inside.
It's gonna kill this guy.
Is this guy found the photo?
I saw it.
Yeah. Whoa.
And that's how they packed it.
Apparently, 096's face was so small in the image it took up less than 4 pixels.
And how does it eat? That small a face?
Yeah, it's sensitive, okay? He's a sensitive boy.
Oh my goodness.
Everything. They were supposed to work. They were supposed to save lives. What was the final casualty count?
15 civilians, 48 Foundation members, 63 deaths in total.
Damn.
So, that's for all.
I have a Tuesday at the foundation, I guess.
So much death. And you want someone to fill it, someone to punish.
Doctor, in here, you will find the clearances necessary to begin termination trials on SCP-096.
Oh.
The Council has come to your side.
You mean I'm allowed to kill it?
You're allowed to try. Oh yes, because then in your termination attempts, you solidify the research and create a more effective solution to what the team needs.
Yeah, I think putting it in more than just a shipping container is a good start.
According to the lore, they tried to put it in space.
Very well then. This concludes.
So what they did was, according to one of their stories, they tried an experiment. They sent a guy to the moon, made him see a picture of it. Guess what happened?
Wait, no. So you deliberately had somebody get killed to. Oh my god.
Oh, so yeah, they have an entire. Okay, they have like an entire classification of employees. So there's something called D class, who are basically death row inmates. So they use them for experiments.
Guinea pigs.
Yeah, guinea pigs. Send the guy to space, send him one of the SpaceX rockets. Let him see a picture and see what happens. It went to the moon.
5 the SCP-096-1-Alpha.
And maybe the sun could work.
Doctor, again, my condolences to you on the loss of your colleagues.
Will it burn the shit out of it? Maybe that could work.
And yeah, I've already seen this, so now comes the twist. Another ad, for God's sake.
There we go.
Okay, I'll just close this.
See, I feel like these ads are like SCP trying to protect us from seeing the face.
Yeah, it seems like that. Because the funny thing is, this is more ads than I had the whole day today.
Surprising.
Maybe they know we're on stream. YouTube's algorithm is pretty smart. It can identify certain stuff like this.
Yeah.
So maybe it's like, you know what? Since more people are going to watch it, I'm going to give you as many ads as I can.
RV-05 still in line?
We're still here. And Inspector Everett is right. Well done, Arlia.
Thank you, Mother. It was short of a confession. I didn't even have a
It's a shame. Daniels really is brilliant.
What?
If you were more
They are
mentally
actually gonna rat out on
unlock
him.
the secrets to 096's uncanny sensory abilities.
easy to. It's not his fault.
The only thing he's proven is that he's as much of a monster as he considers us.
That's enough. Inspector Arlia, after everything you just saw, has your hunch been confirmed?
I believe so. The way you handled the photograph is definitely came with it. I suspect he's been holding on to it for a stone like this.
But still, how can he avoid arrest? His absent control was are personally.
Outside help. Has Lexi given us anything new?
These guys are more
Although his initial
bothered about each other's. Nice.
Get what we can out of him. Then he's to be terminated. Quickly and quietly. Remember, he's officially already dead.
When do we inform the animals that we know he orchestrated the breach?
Only after he kills it.
Interesting.
That's it.
Ah. Oh, okay.
What do you think about the
Cliffhanger
twist?
ending.
What do you say about the twist? Fuji, can't you?
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
That's. I didn't see it coming, but I've also not seen it coming every single time this plot twist is actually used.
See, the thing is, it's pretty obvious.
Where you use three parties. There's party number one, which is obviously made as the bad guy, the main threat. There's party number two and party number three, out of which party number two is like the big, powerful entity which could do shit but doesn't want to do shit. And then there's party number three who really wants to do stuff. And at the last second, you switch it around, where party number three is the cause of all the mayhem. That is actually good. It's a tried and tested formula, but when applied nicely, it works really well.
Thing is, like, when after watching it in retrospect, you're like, yeah, it's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Well, I'd say it's more of the acting that, has kind of solved it.
Yeah.
He really played the innocent card well.
The funny part for me was this thing. What was that?
The screaming.
No, not the screaming. The shipping container crack
What,
through which it was literally. That wasn't a shipping container. It came through cardboard. that tear was through cardboard.
Let's just say it's that powerful. It's actually an extremely effective weapon. Collateral damage would be extremely high, but effective nonetheless. And I just mail a pic of it to someone, and boom.
Yeah, I mean, it is a double-edged sword, but yeah. See, weirdly enough, I feel like this is dangerously much more effective than something like Death Note.
See, this is more effective because it's not gonna kill just one person. Like it's like I'd say Death Note is a precision weapon. Like you kill a person, and maybe they'll know, maybe they won't know that caused it.
Yeah, Death Note is more like a sniper. This is more like a dirty bomb.
This is a nuke, not a dirty bomb. It's a bit more precise. Okay, than a dirty bomb.
I guess maybe no, but the nuke, the effects like they start going down. The dirty bomb effects they continue to grow, don't they?
Yeah, after it kills everyone that's seen his face, just gonna sit there and wail. So until you go there, bag it and take it back home. Okay, so your question is why don't they kill it? So these guys, they're against killing monsters.
Yeah, even after seeing all that, you have to be a psychopath to not kill something.
Till they classify it as an extreme danger to humanity.
How is that not extreme danger to you?
I mean, in this universe, there are beings that can destroy the universe with just a thought. So this is pretty small fish.
That they've already not done it.
So this is a pretty small fish compared to those. Right?
Yeah,
this is like what it's gonna kill. So kill like what 50 people. We have beings that that will cause the apocalypse. So those ones they're authorized to destroy. These ones they'll just contain it and study it.
Yeah, people. These kind of areas, people tend to get weird.
Oh yeah, and the thing is, these guys aren't the only agency that does this in the universe. There's like.
Also, SCP isn't like one umbrella agency.
No, there are multiple other agencies. So SCP is quasi-private. It's not completely private. It's not completely government. It's funded by governments, but operates independent of governments. So on the same vein, they have a group that's controlled by the UN. And this is fictional UN, so these guys are effective. It's like how they're on paper controlled by UN, but for all intents and purposes they're private.
I see.
There's a group called the GOC, which is controlled by UN. So both groups don't get along. I mean, don't necessarily get along. Sometimes they cooperate, sometimes they don't.
Sometimes they go, okay.
They don't necessarily get along because the GOC is more into destroying stuff. These guys are more into containing stuff. So they work with each other when it suits both parties, but they don't really like each other.
Gotcha.
Something like that. And there are cases where both of them have fought each other openly.
Oh.
Gunfight.
That's...
It's like the KGB and CIA in the movies. It's like KGB and CIA in James Bond films. Try to think about.
That's quite interesting.
So that's the thing. They contain stuff. That's it. They don't destroy it unless necessary. So apart from that, they have an SCP rights group, like a monster rights group.
Oh my! What?
They have like they have dealers in rare artifacts in this universe. And they have like an active insurgency. It's a vast universe.
Yeah, that stuff wouldn't fit in our universe.
Now what, the active insurgency? Yeah, about that. They have active insurgency that was created by the SCP Foundation till they went rogue. I don't know about you, but I'd say like every government in the world has done that by accident.
Yeah.
So it's more realistic than you give them credit for.
No, but I mean, real world insurgencies aren't like this. Out of the blue, you'll have more monsters like this coming around.
No, the thing is, we don't have random magical objects just lying around in our planet.
Yeah.
That's the reason. So they have a unit, so they create a unit. The SCP Foundation, O5 Council creates a unit to circumvent. Apparently these guys have an ethics board. Imagine that these guys have an ethics board. So to circumvent the ethics board's, ruling, they create a unit, a Black Ops unit.
Black Ops unit.
Yeah, create a Black Ops unit, which becomes an insurgency.
Oh. Dang.
And then they have a couple of cults. They have a couple of religions.
How does it make any sense to have religion in this?
I mean, when I say religion, I don't mean like the normal, vanilla religions like Christianity, Hinduism, Islam, or anything like that. You're talking about a world with magical beings, like extremely brutal magical beings. There would be those who worship it.
Yeah. I mean, it does make sense. There's always people in movies and stories who, out of all the options you have, for some weird reason they decide worshipping is the best option.
No, as humans, as a species, we tend to worship what we don't understand. Like how many think about us, we don't really give them much publicity, but how many death cults do you know? How many doomsday cults do you know? Quite a lot.
I've seen quite a lot of like YouTube documentaries and stuff like that on that.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, let me just stop. I'm not talking about those weirdos. I'm talking about more mainstream ones. If you look at, let's say Daesh, they're actually a doomsday cult. If you think about it.
Oh, okay, like that.
And
Yeah, no. Then see, the thing is, unless somebody tells me directly that okay, this is a doomsday cult, I don't think about
Yeah,
it.
that's what I'm saying, sir. So how do I put? So Daesh is like the reason they do everything they do is they want to start the apocalypse. They want to trigger a Western response which leads to the invasion of Mecca Medina by the West. That's what they claim, which will trigger the apocalypse.
But isn't that place like comparatively really safe?
No, yeah, it is safe. They don't want that. They want to trigger the apocalypse. They don't want safety. They want to trigger the apocalypse.
Yeah, but weirdly enough, they don't really seem to be making headway in that direction.
No, they tried. Now, see, they've been beaten back. So now, during the initial campaigns, they actually tried. There was quite a lot of terror in those regions from their end.
Ah, I see.
So the entire thing is they'll take over Mecca Medina. They'll lure the West into attacking, thereby triggering the apocalypse, as they believe it. Which, so since they're actively trying to start the apocalypse, they're a doomsday cult. So yeah, we have it, but how about the way
I don't understand. For some reason, like when it is on such a large and obvious scale, I don't understand. Wouldn't you realize that at the end of it, you're not gonna get anything out of it?
Oh, so the thing is, you're looking at it like from a normal human being. From them, if the apocalypse is triggered, they all go to paradise.
Okay, that's
that's the catch.
That's the thing. Okay.
That's the motivation. They all go to paradise.
So you destroy one place and you believe you will be given a ticket to a much more cooler.
No, it's more of they try to trigger. They try to trigger.
Is it like that sacrifice kind of a mentality where you have to sacrifice to
for the greater good sort of thing, yeah.
To the god.
And yeah, not sacrifice, more of you martyr yourself to your cause sort of thing. And then that is why.
That's the point. Martyr yourself doesn't really talk apocalypse anywhere in the sentence.
Nah, see, it's like how I put you martyr yourself to trigger a situation where it leads to their fantasy world where they go to paradise and they smoke hashish. I don't know what they do in paradise, okay? I don't know what they do. It's like that onion coverage of them.
Yeah, I don't think they do what you were gonna say.
No, so it's like the onion coverage. If they do not trigger the apocalypse, they'll pack the stuff up and call it a day. I'm like, yeah, I guess that's what they'll do.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, hi Neo. Let's switch to something more wholesome. Okay. So yeah, we have lots of doomsday cults in our world as well. Just that we don't portray them as such. We tend to talk to them more of extremist groups than doomsday cults. It's not just this specific branch of Abrahamic faith. In every more branch there are doomsday cults. Like when the no virus came to be.
What?
The unspecified virus of unknown origin.
Okay.
Spread. The Holy Land, in Israel, there was quite a lot of not Islamic groups, Jewish groups that went against the government and start calling this the apocalypse. And they say we'll go to paradise and that shit. It's like every religious nutjob was like, you know what, we have to speed up the apocalypse. I'm like, why? Why you want to do this? See, I don't like this world, but do you really need to do this? So it's no, they exist. And how about that? Like secretive quasi-government agencies exist. But see, not to the extent of the SCP Foundation, as in they have they have warehouses of random stuff. Like random magical artifacts, but let's take India's RNAW or the CIA or the current day FSB, which is the KGB successor. They're all like secretive organizations that work for governments. Or if you look more into the Cold War time, there were units called Operation. There was a program called Operation Gladio, The NATO stay back program project where hypothetically the Soviet Union invaded Europe, they'll have units of people who stay back and fight.
As in?
As in
Like
they
not military?
no, paramilitary units. So
Okay.
So the first thing the Soviets would do hypothetically is once they invade a country, they'll get rid of anyone who's linked with the military or something like that, or the government.
Okay.
So operatives of operation, like people, the paramilitary units associated with Operation Gladio, they all lived lives which were as benign as possible.
Oh.
As in, if the Soviets ever start purging their governments after this hypothetical invasion, these guys won't come through the radar. In fact, some of them actively I'm quite sure some of them actively
So it's like the sleeper cell thing.
Yeah, it's a sleeper cell inside your own country in case of invasion.
Interesting.
So they had caches of weapons all around the country. So in case, let's say there's an invasion, they'll like stay back and fight. Hit and run tactics.
Oh.
So all that got declassified after the Cold War got over. Even the Oxcart project, what A12 Oxcart, the SR-71, even that was highly classified.
Oh. Wait, I mean, yeah, I guess in the early days the SR-71.
Yeah, it was classified. The B2, same thing. So yeah, the government's having secrets and weapons and all. And
interestingly, I thought the F-22 would also be classified, but it wasn't really like hidden.
No, it wasn't hidden, but it was
like it was even like the what do you call it? The rollout launch was like highly publicized event.
Same thing with F-35.
Yeah.
However, those like simultaneously they'll have more secretive projects running.
Yeah.
So it's like governments having secretive projects, black ops. Like for example, there was this intelligence network known as the Safari Club. It was between Egypt, Morocco, France. Let me just check. I forgot who all were members of it.
Safari group.
The Safari Club.
Safari Club. Oh wow, that sounds like a national park club.
So the thing is,
I want to join the club and see.
the reason
exotic animals.
No, so the thing is, the reason they call it Safari Club is because the meeting, the place where they made a deal was the Safari Club in Nairobi, Kenya.
Oh, nice. So that's why.
No, so it's like a
simple people.
it's like a generic name given to them. They don't have a name.
That's better.
Okay, so the original charter was signed by France, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Morocco, and Iran. Iran was the what call that, Shah of Iran, not the Islamic Republic.
Okay, got it.
So all of them came to the agreement that it was part of the Cold War strategy in Africa. It was to stop communist insurgencies in Africa. And they have links to CIA. So what happened is CIA used them as an extension of their foreign policy.
Got it.
So the US president, like despite what people how fiction portrays them, the CIA don't operate independently. They're not a rogue agency that does what they feel like. Rather, they're an extension of the US president's private army, as many journalists describe them.
Okay.
Like they take orders from one person only. That's the sitting president of the United States, or the vice president if the president is unfit to serve.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So all the bad stuff they've done, it was endorsed by a president. It wasn't them being like, you know what, let's go fuck up some communists. No, it was them being directed by a sitting president to do those stuff. And so in certain cases the president wouldn't know the exact details. Or the president
it's like he gives the orders, but then the specifics of the stuff is like they come up with the specifics.
Not like that. However, the president actively tells them don't tell me the specifics because in case something happens, they don't want to be indicted for. They don't want to be impeached.
Oh, okay, got
it's not like, they'll be like, you'll be like, get creative and they say, you know what, let's cut off a limb. No, nothing like that. It's like it's like
there should be any crime trail going back to the president.
yeah, the president needs to wash his hands clean. So let's say let's take my favorite Iran Contra affair. my personal favorite. How Reagan got away with crime. No, Reagan is pretty cool. I'd say he's one of the best presidents of all time.
Yeah.
So Reagan got away with actual crimes because evidently he did not know what was happening. He don't know the specific. He's like, I want you to fund the Contras. Contras were an anti-communist insurgency in Nicaragua. And the CIA is like, do you want us to do it the easy way? Like, he's like, do you want to do what you want? I don't know anything. Wink, wink.
Wink.
Sir, can we sell weapons to the enemies of America? Yeah, sure. But I didn't tell you to do that. No, that's how it is.
I see.
And because the CIA is allowed to have free reign, I'm telling you however, most of the threats to the states would actually disappear. Because the CIA operates, so they have a unit called the Special Activities Division, which is called, I think they renamed it. They named it to Special Activities Center. Yeah, they renamed it to SAC, Special Activities Center.
Yeah, that's better than sad.
Sad sounded cool. Division sounded cool. Center makes it sound like it's like a bunch of intellectuals being thinking about foreign policy.
I mean, that is kind of how the trend is going. Like the naming and the philosophy and all that. It's getting more like buttered up.
However, it's just a respite from between two consecutive Cold Wars. Because like after what's happened, I'm quite sure there's going to be another Cold War.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it was already there.
Nah, see that the so-called China, the Sino-American Cold War isn't exactly as hostile as, let's say, the Sino-Soviet Cold War.
I'd say that is more because one side refuses to make it hostile.
And both sides refuse to make it hostile.
Yeah,
I mean, directly.
Sure. Yeah, directly.
See, the Soviets and the Americans both thumped their chests and kept troops on each other's borders and stuff like that. They weren't business partners.
I mean, yeah, that is I guess the biggest difference.
No, that's the biggest difference. Like, see, like many people.
Economy, trade, and business is, I guess, the biggest.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. So, like, back then, both wanted to kill the other. They wanted to shoot them in the back of the head and bury them. Now the Chinese and the Americans, they are in a weird position where they don't want to get rid of the other one. They just don't want them to influence on that. They don't want them to expand on their turf.
Yeah, it's you can't fully like get rid of the other because from both sides you need the other person.
Yeah, exactly. So
you put yourself in a position where they can't do anything about you because they will need you, but vice versa. At the same time, you will also need.
So the Americans want the Chinese to be, contained in their own region, as in they don't want the Chinese to create a Sino hegemony in Asia. The Chinese want to return to an old world order where USA was isolated to the Americas. And the Chinese control the old world, like Africa, Asia, and Europe. So it's different. It's drastically different. Like now, I'd say that after our dear Russian friends' misadventure in Ukraine, because I don't know what else to call it. See, either they're competent, or either they're incompetent or they're incompetent. That's like the two options they're giving us now. You said read the news today. Ukrainians are like flying into Russia like it's a summer vacation. Okay, they're just coming out and like either it's that, either the Russian missile systems don't work, or it's a false flag attack.
I don't think their equipment doesn't work because the same thing happened in the Middle East area.
Fuji, when I say, see, it's not the equipment. See, the Middle East area, they take good care of the equipment. These guys don't do jack shit to the equipment. They just let it rot.
No, that's exactly. So that's the point. Surprisingly enough, some of their equipment they actually build it well enough to let it rot and it will still function. So let's say, for example, like the air defense equipment.
Yeah, but it doesn't work in Russia.
I personally
that's my
don't
point.
feel the equipment is shit because what I feel rather is happening is the equipment wasn't really switched on or used by the people.
Why will you switch it off? Why you buy it? That's like that for sure.
See that's the thing, because the same thing when so at the from what situation I'd read, I'm basing this off of is it had happened in the Middle East, where from the
Which
Yemen
country?
conflict zone I think there were missiles as well as drones sent into UAE.
I see. UAE doesn't use Russian systems.
No. So that's what I'm coming to is, and it went over a considerable patch of Saudi land territory.
Okay.
And everybody's question was, well, these guys have like THAAD and stuff, so why didn't they shoot it down? It turns out those equipments were looking towards Iran. They weren't really prepared to a strike from behind them. And it's not exactly a 360-degree kind of a thing.
Oh, you're talking about what called that, the Yemen attack on Saudi, right?
Yeah, no, but
Houthi
the
attack.
attack was on the attack
The
was
Houthi
on
attack on Saudi. You're
UAE.
talking about yeah. No, there was
Yeah,
one.
also on Saudi. Yes, sorry.
Saudi and
Yeah, also on the oil refinery.
Yeah, you're talking about those ones, right? Okay,
Yeah,
sir.
so
Okay, see, thing
that
is,
came out that those weapons weren't, first of all, they weren't looking in that direction. So that's why it didn't work. It
okay,
wasn't like the equipment
Fuji,
was
how do
bad.
I put this? See, Saudi and UAE know that they're shit. They accept that they're shit. They know that they don't know how the equipment works. That's why they go and hire. That's why they go and hire South American mercenaries. They're aware of that. They know that they're like, if you go ask them, they're like, yeah, our military is filled with rich boys. They do not claim to be the best military force that will bring USA to its knees. No, they know their shit. You get what I mean, right? Here we have a wannabe superpower that's letting it's like if the Bangladeshis just keep going and coming outside India, blowing shit up and going out.
I guess that is more of a different issue of like a mentality problem.
No, another thing is how I put it. This is not like the Russians have to point it anywhere else. They have to point it only at Ukraine. You get what I mean, right? They don't have
Yeah. No. See, the point why I think it wasn't so much so that the equipment was faulty and more so that they weren't using it properly is because I haven't really seen like efficient interconnected aerial warfare also from the Russian side, as much as I've seen the news.
No, they don't have.
They could be
They
fearing-
don't.
Exactly, so they could be fearing taking out their own guys.
No, they actually took out their own guys. Not fair. They took out their own guys.
That's what I'm saying. That is probably there. It's causing confusion in their own ranks. It's like, oh, I'm taking out. Oh, we took out one of our own. Okay, let's switch it off. And when you switch it off, we have Ukrainian guys flying in for a picnic.
It's not like they're just flying it directly in Russia. They're flying over rebel-controlled territory in Russia. It's like it's more long. It's larger than it seems when you look at the map.
Yeah,
And it's not like the raid in Pakistan, the SEAL Team 6 breaking into Pakistan. It's not like that. It's like they're using shitty Soviet equipment, stuff you can get off the market,
pretty weird.
stuff that both of us can buy off the market.
Only interesting. I mean, it made sense. The other story that I know about, it's about the Indian Air Force in, I think, was it in one of the coup exercises or what? I don't know. It is fairly recent, not.
Okay, well, so it's a war
few
game
years
exercise.
back. Yeah, war game exercise, aerial warfare, and I think that was the first time that modern Sukhois had went to continental US.
Okay.
Of any country. So as much as I've heard about it, I think this is off of YouTube and some articles that to this particular war game, the French were going to send in mirrors, and they got to know that the Indians are sending Sukhoi, so they're like, you know what, we'll send Rafales. And so what they did is they like to be on the team with Indians. They would sit behind the Indian planes and they would just like record and see what the Indians are doing with their Rafales. And the Indians, the restriction was that they couldn't exactly use all the equipment because like Russian radars and stuff.
Yeah, the Russians were not happy with us doing that.
Exactly. So some kind of warfare experience that you do need, you couldn't get there. Those pilots couldn't get there. So they had scenarios where without using the switching on, let's say for example, the radar or something like that. You can do some warfare scenarios.
Yeah.
So the funny thing was, they were getting, I think both sides had AVAX support.
Yeah. And the war games you get American AVAX support on the war game.
Yeah, and there's some issue with identifying friend or foe, something like that, where the Indians would take longer for the Indian planes to get notified that there's a bandit, and by the time like they could track it, they could identify and they could take it down, they would get taken out.
No, so however, the Russian and Soviet tech isn't really good at identify friend or foe because their entire doctrines goes on to aircraft bomb blowing up. Air-to-air combat for them is pretty rare in their doctrine.
Exactly. So the issue
but the thing is,
they're
supposed to be good at air-to-ground combat. Funny thing is, they're not even doing that right. They're supposed to have taken out the Ukrainian Air Force. Why are the Ukrainians going on, picnics to Russia? I think the only reason
the funny thing was in that war game, the funny thing was our guys were taking time to identify. So if what was happening is the Indian planes would get to know that there's another plane in front of them. By the time they would know whether it's friend or foe, they would be taken out. So what they started doing the next day is they would identify that there's an aircraft in front of them, and regardless of whether it is friend or foe, they would shoot it.
Shoot first.
They would just shoot it left, right, center. That I would say is more to do with like the political restrictions and all that.
No, even then,
I guess secret and technological restrictions.
However, I'd say it's more of Russians do not want to let the Americans know that the big badass Russia is as big and badass as they claim to be. Because, remember when the MiG-31 with Foxbat?
No, Foxbat is 25. MiG-31 was actually an improvement on.
Foxhound. Then it's Foxhound.
Yeah, Foxhound was the MiG-25. No. So Foxhound is MiG-31, which is the comparatively newer one.
Okay.
And the Foxbat is the one which defected to Japan.
Yeah, so MiG-25. So remember when the Americans were really scared of MiG-25, and then they realized
they were extremely scared of it. They made one of the best aircraft there, the F-15, to compete with it.
And they realized,
they're like, oh,
that's it. It's just a rocket engine with shaped like an aircraft. That's it. I may mock that aircraft right now, like for obvious reasons.
In what it was supposed to do, it worked.
Yeah, it was supposed to intercept SR-71.
It was supposed to shoot off in a straight line, go really fast, take out one target and come back.
Yeah, see, it works.
It was useful for.
Now, how I put it works, but you know what? The pilot gets taken over the aircraft. That's how it is.
Wait, the pilot gets what?
See, it goes in a straight line. So the pilot doesn't have maneuverability. It's a high chance the pilot gets shot down as well.
Yeah.
It's like, however, it's like, you see, even if you turn missile into aircraft, you move fast. It's combat logic.
Yeah.
It's combat logic.
The person will be like, okay, what about like defending, turning around, coming back?
Like,
hey, you don't need to do that.
Even this is for Mother Russia.
No need to come back.
Comrade, this is for the Soviet Union. You'll be remembered. We will sing songs about you. Be like, yeah, about that. You know what? I want to be a cosmonaut, so I can run off to space.
I feel like I don't know why, but it's quite interesting. Just talking about like pure. How do I put it? Engineering and
we're talking about engineering, and we're just talking about engineering and the effectiveness of it.
All the Russian aircraft, if Russian aircraft designs, like the shells of Russian aircraft, were given like all internals and engines of American companies, that would be the best and most unbeatable aircraft in the whole world.
Fuji, you're talking about a fantasy world that cannot exist.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about like mixing reality into Ace Combat.
Ideal situation. No, that's what Ace Combat does. That's what most of the fictional aircraft in Ace Combat does.
Imagine like MiGs and Sukhois with like American manufacturing.
Yeah, and that is something that sadly we will not get.
That would be so cool.
But sadly we will not get that because
Yeah, the Indians did try it, but it's not that easy in real life.
however, we're highly restricted on what we can or can't do with that. Because despite what the Russians say, they'll be like, yeah, sure, you can do what we want.
No. Even now, currently, the upgrade for the planes, for the Sukhois, it's hitting a roadblock because our guys want to do it in house and they have the whole capacity to do it.
The Russians won't let us.
But the Russians want to.
Because see, right now the Russians want more. They need money more than ever. Because every day they stray further away from God. I don't know how else to put it.
Yeah, and even putting it like that, even like I guess mostly it is because of the restrictions, but it's not only it's every single country's restrictions from whom we get it.
Yeah. See,
so
every
technically, if Russians get rid of the restrictions, we could actually have a really well-performing aircraft on our hands. But that won't happen.
However, like, see, instead of counting on the Russians, we should just focus on the Tejas program, and how I put see when it comes to
see, that's the thing. I want to see a heavyweight 4th generation aircraft, which isn't really going to appear anytime in the Indian subcontinent.
No, the problem with Indian strategy when it comes to aircraft manufacturing is we want other people to buy the Tejas when we ourselves don't make it a standardized aircraft. You get what I mean, right?
We are taking quite a long time to actually get it out there in our efforts.
Yeah, that's the thing. So when it comes to business, if you yourself don't use it, this is not like tobacco, okay? This is like this is like electronics equipment.
This is the complete opposite of tobacco.
It's like let's say you go to HP, okay? Not Hewlett Packard. They actually split it into companies. I'm talking about HP, the guys who make laptops.
Yeah.
And you see everyone use MacBooks. Would you feel comfortable? You get what I mean, right? It's that business model. It's a bit like, you know what? Maybe I should switch to MacBook. Something ain't right, chief.
Yeah. But even in their progressive whatever their plans are, and I mean, interestingly, they are going ahead with their plans much more thoroughly than before. Is like the Tejas Mark II, then you have the AMCA,
I
which is the
understand.
5th gen, and you have the Navy TED-BF, which is kind of a 4th gen heavyweight. But I mean, come on, it's like a bigger and
It's a bigger
little bit
Tejas.
slightly stealthier Rafale.
It's actually a bigger Tejas.
No. If you look at it, it looks much more than like a Rafale than a Tejas. I mean, yeah, the Tejas inspiration is obvious, but
No,
still.
it's considered part of the Tejas program. It's considered
Yeah,
adaptation.
it is. It is out of the naval Tejas evolution.
Yeah.
But visually looking, it looks much more like the Rafale.
Now that does, but it's officially a Tejas.
Yeah, it is true. But then that's the thing. I would love to see something like a Sukhoi, like a 4th generation heavyweight, like frontline aircraft, which doesn't seem to that. I don't think that'll ever come out.
I say the problem right now is
because by the looks of it, if we go properly with these 4 aircrafts, the strategy will be the point defense is done by the Tejas, the heavy duty is done by the Mark II, and the Navy takes care of their duties with the TED-BF.
Yeah, that sounds like a good strategy, but the problem is I don't think they'll do it.
The whatever extreme situation or extra careful situations will be done with the AMCA. There's no crawling heavyweight slugger.
No, how about, okay, sure, if you want some diversity, get yourself a couple of F-15s or F-18s, job done.
Yeah, I mean, no, I was talking about an Indian design.
I know what you're saying, the thing is, recently...
I want to see an Indian heavyweight.
The funny thing is, recently the Indian Air Force Chief bitched about us having too many aircraft in our fleet. I'm like, whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? Who's the guy, who's the building guy came up with that plan? You. Why are you bitching? I'm the one who's supposed to be bitching, not you.
I mean, I wouldn't say you as in that person, but yeah, as an
I mean, him and his buddies, the panel.
Yeah.
I'm like, who in their brilliant mind came up with this? You
See,
guys.
Now, interestingly, it will be really funny if they go for the Air Force goes for F-15s and the Navy goes for F-18s. because you had a problem with Mirage, like the Indian Air Force has a problem with the French Mirage 2000 aircraft, where you had 60 aircraft, and now you're struggling for spares, and now you have only 36 Rafales. What is going to happen to them after like 15 years?
The same thing that happened to the MiG-21. We'll just cannibalize one for the other.
But even so, yeah, see, that did happen with the MiG-21s. But at like overall quantity, we had 800 of them from start to end. We have 36 of these. What are you gonna cannibalize? There's nothing to cannibalize.
Now, see, when it comes to Indians, when it comes to cannibalizing parts, we will find a way. Don't you worry. We are the most conscious people on the planet.
I haven't heard that word in a long time. Conjuice.
No, we are the most conscious people on the planet. See, I'm gonna sound racist here. We invented good juice.
Oh.
Okay, so the thing is, I know there's this Islamic, so I kind of did an analysis on investment banks around the world.
Okay.
And I came across, so there's something called an Islamic banking system, which is slightly different, more different than the conventional banking system because the interest rates are low. It follows Islamic law more than the rules of capitalism.
Interesting.
It's like banking as given in the Quran. As in, you're not supposed to force money out of a person, stuff like that.
Interesting.
Okay, guess who? So in a specific country.
Is it like? Does it work? Like, does it benefit?
Nah, it gives you goodwill. Apart from that, I don't think it really does much because, see, if a person defaults, you have to go to his house and break his shit. You can't be like, you know what, it's fine. Just my take, okay? If you're running a bank, your top priority is your client, is your stakeholders, not the people you give loans to. But an Islamic, but then again, an Islamic bank isn't supposed to be a traditional bank. It's not supposed to be a substitute for a traditional bank. It's supposed to be more of a community-driven thing. It's like an alternative to normal banks. If you can't go to the normal banks, it's like how to put. You go if you need help, you go to the church or you go to the temple or something like that, like for help, right? It's something like that.
I see.
Okay, so to the point is, I found that there was, and in many cases they are by law, by the beliefs supposed to be led by a pious Muslim.
What?
A pious Muslim.
Okay.
A funny thing is, I found a Gujo Hindu being the managing director of an Islamic bank.
Oh, sweet.
I'm like, wow, how godless are you people? Not the bank, these guys. I'm like, wow, they even fool the holy people. You get what I mean, right?
Yeah.
We invented those people. They came from our lands. We can figure out a way. And to any Gitros on chat, don't take it seriously. It's just a joke.
I know. Look, I had one of the first Gujarati friends I had made. One of the funny. I'll never ever forget this. The guy sends me a meme on I think it was, I don't know which, I don't remember where it was now, but he basically sends me a meme, and that is where I understood, like, okay, these guys can take a joke.
And they can take a joke. They can take a joke.
Because no, the meme was normal person is like what, 70-80% water.
Okay.
And yeah, so there's that standard silhouette of a standard Facebook mail, and it is like 70% filled with water, and it is written on the left side that there's a normal human being is 70% water, and then on the right is the same image again, and then instead of water, up till 70% up till like the chest or shoulder, the thing is filled with images of like all Gujarati sweets.
Oh, okay. That's not.
It's
That's
like
not.
this is what 30%
That's not.
of Gujaratis are filled with.
No, that's not that
Okay.
offensive. That's not offensive at all. That's perfectly normal.
I was like, oh yeah, cool.
No, you can actually do that for any Indian ethnicity.
No. See, the funny thing for the how do I put this? The remembering, the point of the fact why I remember it so well is he sent it to me. I never made a joke about it.
No, so the thing is, There's a Gujarati guy I studied with in university. There was this common joke about him which he laughed at. This guy, even if he's in an auto rickshaw and a pretty girl sits on his lap, his eyes will still be on the meter. That's the only thing. He doesn't want to spend a rupee more on his cab ride. So yeah, thing is, most of them might take a joke, but just to be safe.
Yeah.
You
No,
never.
that's always how when you're just talking without like somebody directly being there with you. It's always better to say that we don't like give a
We do not condone racism, okay? We condemn racism. We don't condone racism.
None of this is meant to like hurt anybody or cause like light of anybody else's situation.
Come on, they're the most successful people in India. What situation are they in? I would say take it as a compliment. They're the most successful business people in India. Them and the Marwadis.
Yeah.
It is a different community. And then the
I used to hear about the Marwadis when I was young. I don't really hear much about them.
No, see, the thing about Marwadis is most of them tend to keep a low profile.
And I don't know why. It's just, is it a common trend throughout the country that people like they're used as like butt of the joke?
And Marwadis, yeah.
I never understood why.
Marwadis, Sindhis. So this is apparently a common story. A Sindhi and a Gujjar in the room, and only one will come out alive. They both don't. Apparently, both groups don't like each other. But the thing is, I know.
I didn't know that.
So one sees the other one that's encroaching on their territory, which goes into some really.
As in like geographical territory or?
Yeah, both geographical and social territory. So it goes into, how I put it, some extremely tragic parts of Indian history.
Okay.
The first part of history of the Republic of India, the first chapter of history when it comes to the Republic of India. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
So one sees the other is encroaching on their territory. And the funny thing, they'll be like, if you talk to a Gujjar person, he'll be like, that guy's extremely, don't listen to him, he's like an extremely conscious guy who won't even put a fuel I'm like, look who's talking. I'm like, is this the pot calling the kettle black? I'm like, look who's talking. Like, it's like, one guy would be like, that guy is a conscious guy, he's conscious. They'll be like, let's say something good. I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean? You both are the same.
That is usually the case.
I'm like, it's a pot calling the kettle black.
I'd say the pot calling the kettle black is more often than an actual, like, how do I put it, statement with basis.
Yes, I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean? You both are the same. What do you mean? One is more, what do you mean he's more conscious? Have you seen yourself in the toilet? It's like, oh god. But thing is, despite everything, one has better food than the other. That no one can deny. I'll leave it at that. One has better.
Yeah.
One has better food than the other.
Yes.
Yeah, see,
Yes.
to be, it's like, I understand it's like food is it's subjective, depends on the person, but I personally think one has better cuisine than the other.
No, I think I agree with you.
It's something like that, but then again, it's just they're both two sides of the same coin. They're all Indians. They're all one of us.
Yeah.
And one thing about both of them is they both agree to that. That's one thing they can agree to.
What?
They're all Indians.
Yeah, this is, look, that's...
I say the funny thing, food is some groups don't accept it. Do not like to be grouped in with.
I guess that is more so a minority.
Nah, you come down south, it's more common. The more south you go, the more don't club me with those northern freaks talk comes into it.
Look, yeah, so see, that's a different thing. Northern and southern is a different thing. India as a whole is a different thing.
Yeah, the thing is, it's getting weird, okay, down here. It's getting much more weirder down here.
I mean, yeah, current affairs, yeah, I do look at current affairs down south from the periphery, so
Yeah, it's weird. It's
I guess it's what do you call it?
It's a seasonal thing.
Yeah, yeah.
It's actually a seasonal thing.
it's the summer heat wave.
It is a seasonal thing, but one point says that, see, the guys who turn it into a seasonal thing, they'll be like, you know what? Fine, we're friends with the guys up north, but the sentiments still stick among the common folk.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. The seasonal temperature goes away, but the
Effects
one-off heat waves will last here and there.
No, not the heat waves. The word called that. The heat stroke you get from those heat waves will last.
Heat stroke. I'll give the what do you call it? What do you call it? I'll think more positively. No, I don't think optimistically would be the right word. Positively.
I would wish it ends up in a positive. I won't say that I think that, but I want it to end in a more positive manner.
No, because look, even after, like, let's say after independence, there's been a lot of very, very serious shit that has gone down all over the place.
No, it's still ongoing. You know how many insurgencies we have, if the Europeans and Americans here, they'll be like, good lord, what is this?
I mean, there have been like peaks.
Oh yeah, the Red Corridor.
There have been places where it was much before.
No, you're talking the Red Corridor.
There's the Red Corridors. There's
the Northeast.
The spot with our the spot with our lovely neighbor. Yes, then the Northeast as well.
Northeast.
That really hit rock bottom.
No, so in the 80s, the down south was really bad.
You're talking about down south. I was talking about Punjab.
Now Punjab, how I put, I would say Punjab was badly handled. See, to be honest, down south was even badly handled. It was started by, it's like the domino meme, okay? I'm not gonna give the person's name because I don't want to be sued by her descendants who are still active in politics. But it's like that meme, okay? That person's like, the tiny dominoes, like her wanting to save some money to Sri Lanka. I'll tell you the whole thing later off stream because I do not want to be sued by her
I think I know.
It's like they wanting to save some money and it turns into a domino effect to Sri Lanka right now. It's how I put. If you look into anyone's history, we've all done bad stuff. Chad, this is for you, okay? But what makes us different from the traditional bad guys is we're not the same people we were back then. I mean, when I say we, I'm talking about the governments we elected.
Yeah.
They have improved, and hopefully they won't make the same. They won't do the same stuff. So that's what makes us different from others.
Yeah, strategically it does feel like people have kind of. It's not as, how do I put this?
We're not as
amazing as before.
No, we're not as warmongering as before.
Yeah.
Because back in the day we were like, you know what? Let's blow some stuff up. Now we're like, you know what? Let's negotiate.
Weirdly enough, like even when it does get like overtly violent, it is more sensible than.
No, see, even if it gets overtly violent, they tend to sit down and discuss it more than going batshit crazy. Yeah. And the funny thing is, if getting overtly violent now has less consequences than back then.
Yeah, true.
Because now it's not part of the Cold War. So if you do it in your own corner of the world, there'll be a UN meeting and that's it.
Yeah.
As long as you don't take over territory as such, no one really cares that much. They'll be on the news for a week and that's it.
Yeah.
After which no one really cares. They'll be like, you know what? See, even now, like let's take what's happening in Ukraine, not taking any side on thing. See, if it happened, let's say in the 1950s or 60s, people will only be talking about that. Now, what have we moved on to? Will Smith slapping Chris Rock? Yeah. I think even that's old. What have we moved on to now? What's like the news of the day?
The latest is Elon.
Oh yeah, him buying Twitter. Elon was evergreen, okay? Even the Ukraine thing, he was actively involved. He's like,
evergreen.
They had to put Elon
as... just reminded me of the ship.
Which Elon might buy now, since if he sees us stream, he might be like, you know what, I should buy that ship. Musk might actually buy the ship.
No. I'll buy that ship. I'll crash it again in the corner. I'll make an NFT of it. I'll sell it on Bitcoin. There were Dogecoin.
I'll peg it to the Dogecoin market. Think about Elon is he will do that and he'll be like, you know what? I'll be the only guy to save this ship.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, Elon is a fun guy, but I see him as a narcissistic asshole. Okay. Elon, don't take it personally. You can call me whatever you want. My Twitters are open. If you can insult me, that'll actually increase my follower count. That's the thing about, despite everything, I'll say Musk deserved what he's earned everything. I won't say he deserved it. I'll say he earned everything he got.
He put in the.
He put in the effort. See, sure he didn't come from. It's not like the rags to riches story, but he worked for it.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not like it got handed to him in a silver plate. It's not like his dad,
There's many ways to go about it. He went about it one way.
Yeah, he worked his ass out. He earned what he has.
Yeah.
No, it's not like his dad's like, you know what, son? You shall run the family's emerald mine. By the way, they have a family emerald mine. Interesting story. Interesting story.
What?
They have his family has an emerald mine. A mine.
Damn.
In South Africa. So what happened was his dad's a charter pilot, something like that. So one of his clients think, I want flight ticket. He's like, give him money. He's like, I don't have money. You know what? I'll give you an emerald mine. He's like, son, I may be an abusive drunk, but you have an emerald mine. In apartheid South Africa. So you know where I'm going. Like, Elon's family did his dad profited from the subjugation of black people. I'm not gonna say he did it. I'll say his dad did it. Because he was a kid. It's not like he owned the mine. It's not like he's like sitting there with a hat and being like, listen here, my N-words. I want you to dig up some emeralds for me. He's I'd say, but think about him is like.
I guess that kind of aspect came from the parenting or something like that only. I know publicly.
No, he hates his father.
I mean, what is stated publicly that I know of. Not like I know anything which is
no, from what I know that him and his father don't have the best relationship.
I wouldn't. I mean, that's really, you're really generous.
I don't know how else to put it.
Yeah.
The words he called his dad, like, but then again, I don't blame him given what his father's put him through.
Exactly. So, no, I'm not. I agree with that guy on it, and to his credit, he takes care of his kids.
No, he may ditch all his wives, but he takes care of all his kids.
Yeah, that's really weird. That's very weird.
Okay, so maybe it's like for me, it's surprisingly common because, I've told you and I've told Chad multiple times that I spent my childhood in the Middle East, and one thing they do.
See, that's in that. In said environment, yeah, I can see that.
For me, that's
like this guy is like there's multiple people saying he works like inhumane hours a day. He has like what 6 partners now. I thought the CIA plane kid partner was going to be the last.
No, I knew for a fact that that's going to end.
Yeah, because there's a new partner now. There's 6 partners and allegedly actually one like 7. So there's
Fuji, you're missing the point. It's not like 7 simultaneously, like 1 at a time.
Yeah, 1 at a time, but it's really back to back.
Nah, see,
one is back to back. 2, all like I think almost all of them popped one out.
He doesn't know his pull-out game's weak. He may be the richest man in the world, but his pull-out game's weak.
I heard this sentence, but I never got a context. Is this the context for it? Like the what is it called? Pump and dump. Is it? Is this is what it is about, right?
See, pump and dump is different. Pump and dump is economic term.
Okay. Yeah. For some reason, I connected it to this.
See, pump and dump is like how I put you raise the price, and once everyone buys into it, you dump it immediately, making a lot of money. And if you do it, let's say when stock trading and all that, that's illegal. You can go to prison. But the reason people do in crypto isn't a recognized security per se. So when you sign up for crypto, you know the risks. It's assumed that you know the risks. But when it comes to recently the American government's been looking more into crypto, and the SEC might turn it into a felony if you do a pump and dump. And it's not like,
Good.
like a future pump and dumps will go to prison. I mean, like even past ones could go to prison.
Exactly. So they should. You do
Yeah,
know
they should.
about
They should.
that.
I
What
agree.
was that saving child thingy?
A Save the Children token.
That disgust.
No, not Save the Children. Save the Kids token. It was ripped right off Save the Children, which is a charitable organization.
Yeah, but the whole crypto thing was really disgusting.
Yeah, it is disgusting. I agree. Not just that, there's MILF token.
Now look, that is something I'm pretty sure. I know at least of one person publicly who would want to buy into that.
No, Monkey won't like it. Trust me.
Monkey.
Monkey won't like it. You know what it's like? It's like Minecraft MILFs. Who wants that? Monkey will be like, what is this? Even see, Monkey.
Yeah, no. That makes sense.
That's what I'm saying. Monkey wants moving pictures.
He doesn't actually like old stuff. He doesn't like pictures, right? He likes
videos.
moving.
He likes moving pictures. Okay, he likes movies. He likes going to the theater.
Yeah.
Like back in the day when no one had TVs, they go to the theaters to watch it together. See, Monkey wouldn't mind that, but this is like not just pictures. Okay, it's like rectangular blocks. You know
I
what?
don't know why. I feel like Giga Gant would actually buy it for him as a joke.
No,
I feel like Giga is the kind of guy to actually go ahead and do
see,
it.
he would have done it, but it's been taken down because it was a pump and dump. And I don't think, as much as Giga likes Monkey, I don't think he'll spend like a couple of $10,000 on
Yeah, no. I mean more like $1 just to like show people on the screen.
Yeah, he'll just take screenshot of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, funny thing. So for all the non-Indians in chat, yesterday and today was off for me. Like it's a public holiday.
Yeah.
Okay, so day before yesterday.
Every hour that passed between yesterday and today, I learned there's this festival is also there. That festival is also.
So there's
this thing is also celebrated.
So multiple festivals are happening in the same 2 days.
Yeah.
And it's Good Friday as well over here. Okay, so the point is my company CEO from the States decided to have a chat with the entire team. And he goes on a tangent about crypto. I'm like, what? It's like me and my children are investing in crypto. That's the future. All of us are like looking at each other like, what the fuck's wrong with them?
Nice.
And my boss, the regional head, he's like giggling in the back. It was like a video call. It was like just an audio call. None of us do video calls.
I mean, look, you probably your regional boss arranged for a stand-up for you.
Yeah, but it got kind of. It's not like that. Like these Silicon Valley guys. They'd be like, I want a team that picks up the call whenever I call them. Middle of the night, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., I should come pick up because I need that help. Same way, I'll pick up your calls whenever you call me. I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up. You don't do that. You don't do that. And I want my team to give me ideas. I'm like, so he's going into a crypto product. So see, I don't know the nitty-gritty details about crypto because I never wanted to get into it, but I know my shit when it comes to crypto.
I always thought about it this way, more than cryptos. I was looking at NFTs. Okay, what if let's say this supposed online marketplace for NFTs. I make whatever the hell I make something on Paint or whatever. I make a drawing. I put it up for sale. If somebody buys it, they buy it in that cryptocurrency. Then I transfer that currency to a real currency and I extract the money. Is it really that simple? Because if I do that, I'm not exactly losing anything.
No, see, Fuji, the thing is, if you do it, no one's gonna buy it. Because what you described is what Gary Vee did. You know Gary Vee, right? He's one of my favorite. One of my favorite YouTubers described as the twisted love child of capitalism and Mr. Bean.
Okay,
Yeah, you haven't seen Gary Vee. You know what? Let me just grab his pic. Gary Vaynerchuk.
I guess that is tied to the person's name.
Yeah, his personal brand. Let me just pull up Gary Vee's picture. I'll send it to you. So just go
it's more like an arts kind of a thing where people buy paintings and stuff.
No, see, arts to an extent. Even Jackson Pollock painting, which personally I don't consider
Yeah, I
art.
don't know about
Okay,
this
this guy, Gary Vaynerchuk.
Hmm.
You haven't seen his videos, you have to see his videos. They're like fucking hilarious.
No, I mean, the only difference is art is actually like there is a solid, real piece of stuff that
Okay,
you
there's
have.
some physical asset associated with it, and you can store
Yeah.
it. You can store it in, let's say, some overseas place and call it a tax return.
NFT is the like what who was it? Keanu Reeves' response was like the most like yes. Somebody big had I wanted somebody big to say it on the internet.
What do you say?
Oh, he completely shat on NFT.
Oh, you see, that expected about any specific one-liners?
No, but he was like I don't remember because I didn't see the whole interview. I saw like clips of it. So like he gets asked the question and the interview is clearly mental like it's like he is the interviewer has bought into the NFT thing like the whole this is the new stuff and blah blah blah. He's bought into it. His question while he's asking the question itself he's biased.
Yeah,
He
see,
asked the question. Immediately Kiara is like what? I'll just take a screenshot of it.
oh yeah, I've seen the interview. I've seen the interview. Like, so think about the entire NFT thing is there's no like the one thing. There's this I forgot her name. There's this famous banker in Wall Street. She's one of the few people. She's one of the people, not few. Quite a lot of people predicted the 2008 Wall Street crash, and she got fired because in Wall Street the rule is if you're wrong and if you agree with the boss, you're fine. If you're right and disagree with the boss, you're fired. As in, they won't fire you outright. They just won't listen to you. As in, they do that in every industry. So keep in mind, chat. Keep in mind, the boss is always right. So what she said is she's not like one of her policies is she won't invest in anything that has no inherent value. Her thing is the bottom line of that thing. If every fancy stuff is stripped away from it, how much is it worth? So for a person like that,
more in terms of like practical utility.
Yeah, practical utility, yeah. And not exactly like see stock from a way can be like just some code, but if it let's say if it takes stock of let's say Lockheed Martin, let's say one Friday Lockheed Martin goes bankrupt, they still have assets that they can sell off.
Yeah. It's like how currencies are calculated in terms of like gold sometimes.
No, that's gold standard. That's a different thing. They've actually removed.
Yeah, no. I'm saying in terms of like tying it down to something real world.
Yeah, something like that. But wait a minute, I want a Gary Vee.
NFTs and stuff is not tied down to anything real world. So yeah.
Okay, so I got a Gary Vee. Should this guy
I could actually make so yeah, I had done this. I could actually make I have a real world thing I could make an NFT out of.
What?
So there's
not your
this, we were learning. What were we learning about? We were learning about so in like a few years back in some class, I was learning about like bourgeois stuff and all stuff like that, and like there was like some nonsensical psychology or something like that philosophy behind it.
Okay.
One of the things I displayed as my like final whatever pin-up was an image of Mona Lisa, but like a few of her hair like strands were flying off, flakes were flying off all over the place as if she just got out of bed, and it was called Monday Lisa instead of Mona Lisa. And that actually passed me through the course.
No, see Fuji. Yeah, you can see Fuji. You can turn that into NFT if you want. But one thing is, however, personally, I'm against NFTs because I think they're shit. But many normal people are against NFTs because they're not exactly helping the environment in a way. Anyway, in fact, they're hurting the environment.
Environment.
Yeah,
like nature environment or
global warming. They contribute a lot to global warming. So it goes like this. So what happens is, an NFT has a blockchain specific blockchain code linked to it. So to mine that, you need to run like your quite a lot of PCs on extreme mode.
Oh yeah, mining, right? I don't really understand mining.
So mining is just your computers doing like extreme calculations that will get you to the moon, but it won't get you to the moon because you're too busy using your processing power to make NFTs.
Making NFTs? Can't I do that on MS Paint?
No, see, that's the image associated with it. So there's the NFT is not the image. You own the image. You can make a copy of the image.
it's the code embedded in the image.
Yes.
Okay, and so you don't make the code, you mine the code.
You mine the code.
You generate the code.
So you write a code for a specific blockchain and then it does the mining. And mining, you need like NVIDIA graphics card and shit if you wanted it done fast. Or you need, or you kill your poor laptop. After you're done mining an NFT, you take your laptop to the back, to the back and shoot it in the head.
So it's basically like the gold rush but virtual.
Nah, come on, inserting the gold rush, okay, because gold has some inherent value.
No, so without the inherent value.
Yeah, it's a bubble. If that's what it means, a bubble.
Yeah.
It's but like say about how my boss's boss, his idea of NFT is like, so what happened was I asked him about his NFT product. So I asked him about what blockchain is he using. He gave me a 15-minute answer, and the answer was just one word. But the 15 minutes was how we learned what NFTs are. I'm like, I don't give answers about all that shit. I don't care about how.
I understand. Like I understand your what your boss did not exactly from like siding with him perspective.
I know you understand.
I'm gonna have to do exactly that in like a month or two.
See, that is exam paper, okay? I don't know. That's like that's presentation, okay? That's different. You have to bullshit that. This thing, I asked him a simple question.
So basically, I have to every single person I talked about my idea, I talked to them in 2 minutes, and they're like, "This is really cool. This makes sense. Yeah, I'd like to see this happen." Now I have to make that more than 2 hours long. 2 minutes.
See, that's fine. That I understand. But I personally do not want to hear him talk about his life story, okay? His life the last 4 months. I don't care about that. Yeah. I don't care about how he slept at 2 a.m. and woke up at 4 a.m. I don't care about his morning yoga lesson. I don't care about his son liking NFTs. Do I look like
that is connected to Bitcoin?
I'm like, how is that connected to the answer? I don't care about him, his work ethic or his integrity in this situation. What I care is, give me the goddamn answer. What blockchain are you using? What's it based on? What programming language? Give me that. I don't want to hear about how you talk to investors and shit. Don't tell me about all that. I couldn't care less about all that. You get what I mean?
That is more of a mental influence operation.
No, how I put that? That's more of okay. I may sound like an asshole here, but most SME CEOs, especially those in the tech field, are narcissists. From personal experience, and speaking from personal experience here, they're loud, or how to put the inferiority complex masquerading as superiority complex.
No, I'd say that is just corporate.
No, I wouldn't say. See, corporate in most cases, especially internally with your team, not with investors or anything like a team, like a proper team you worked with, you tend to cut the bullshit.
No, I don't mean that. So how do I put this? More on the upper levels of the corporate, one, and two, the whole educational side of stuff where people.
See, educational is different. See, educational, I understand. Educational, I've written papers.
I am talking from experience. So, like professors who are like currently in the industry or who have just got out of high positions in the industry, and there are quite a few people who are at high positions in industries. It's really weird.
No, see, this guy, when you talk to, I understand what you're talking about. Professors are used to that because if you write a research paper, you have to bullshit a lot, trust me. You have to prove that 1 + 1 = 2. You need a reference for that. I know that. I've written papers on that. So I was talking to a friend of mine who's into, analysis, and for a simple statement, I had to bring in lots of references, and she's like, you can just state it as obvious. I'm like, yeah, but I'm writing a paper. Those guys don't want that. They want all this. They don't want it's obvious. See, that's understandable, but what I'm trying to say is this guy, he knows me. He's worked with me before. He knows me well. We're on first name basis. And he knows for a fact that I do not want to hear all this. But from my experience, most tech guys will tell you their life story before they get in the point because they want to know how much hard they worked. I'm like, I don't care.
I guess I can I'm feeling the what do you call it? I'm having flashbacks or synergy. I don't know how to phrase it in
You
English.
have Vietnam War flashbacks to your high school
Yeah,
teacher.
yeah, basically the exact same thing, but with professors.
No, but see, professors do that out of habit. These guys
Like,
don't do it out of habit. They do it purposefully. As in, they force themselves to do it.
yeah. I told you about that one professor who never taught us anything in class. Instead, kept talking about like his family situation.
Yeah, no. See, professors. See, another thing is professors. For them, time is not money. For guys like this, like my company CEO, time is money. Especially in the tech field, time is money. If you bullshit a lot, they'll be like, you know what, next. See, I can guarantee that this guy won't bullshit with investors or anyone in a high position. This is just pep talks to us.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is,
The only way like I got around professors was that there's the funny thing. I don't know if this is there's a parallel in the tech industry. You let me know. But so there's one thing that professors love to do. I'm sure you know this. They'll tell you come with them for like you go to them with like a weekly update on a project. They'll guide you. They'll tell you this is how you should go ahead with this. And the next week when you do as they say, they will absolutely bash you for like the absolutely bullshit idea.
Okay,
and the only way to go around this, you say yes, you nod, and you never do what they tell you to do. They'll actually appreciate you.
Okay, so that's not in the industry. That's not the case. That actually happens when you're working with the sales guys and marketing guys.
Oh.
Because especially sales. So the thing is over here, the mistake many people make is they mix sales and marketing and they club it into one thing. It's not one thing. Sales guys are more rougher on the edges. Sales guys are the guys that keep calling you, pestering you to buy the shampoo and shit. So sales guys are supposed to be annoying.
Yeah.
Supposed to be persistent. Sales guys are supposed to be parasites that suck off you. While marketing guys are supposed to be more charismatic. The reason India sucks at marketing is because we mix both of them together. We get sales guys to do marketing. So Indian marketing is basically just banging on the door and saying like, buy my stuff. So that thing happens when you're working with sales guys. So the thing about sales guys is they are used to know what happens is they take customer feedback and they build their entire strategy around that. They'll come and that's what they'll keep telling you each time. And each person has a different set of needs and wants. So they'll be like, you have to change it according to this, that, and all that. So don't take sales guys that seriously. They take them seriously because they give you customer feedback, but do not take everything they say at face value.
Yeah.
But when it comes to, let's say, the tech field, your manager will not do that because it's his or her ass on the line.
That's so unfortunate. It's not the same here.
It's not. See, professors are university professors are extremely higher protected. Okay, what's the worst that'll happen to them? They go on vacation. That's the worst that'll happen to them. And even that won't happen for kids. That will happen if they commit some extremely heinous crimes. Stuff that will get us normal folk in prison.
I couldn't. So what? In my case, what I ended up doing is I don't want to name it any. I don't want to give it any hypothetical of like Mountain University or anything like that because that place is shit.
Okay, some university. Fuji's university. The university you're going to.
Yeah, Ditch University.
Well, see, I was going to call the SIT Shit Institute of Technology, but
no, Ditch would make more sense. It's got like design in it, so. But yeah, so the first I was having a really rough, like really tough time because I couldn't understand how the hell can you call your own idea absolute bullshit like in a matter of 24 hours and you can shit on me for that.
Now Fuji, he or she, I assume it's a he.
I mean it's both. There's multiple, there's not one.
Okay, so they kind of forget that it's their idea. They just give it from the top of their head.
That's the part which is so funny to me. So I couldn't get it what to do. Like I really got frustrated about that. Then I figured out, okay, say yes, just don't do it. of what you are asked to do like 5% of it, and do that 5% at the end of whatever idea. So if I go 1 week and I present a project and I get feedback, I'll say yes sir, yes ma'am, whatever. I'll nod my head. We'll go back, have our team meeting, whatever, if it's a group project, and we'll do whatever interesting ideas we get. We'll work on that. We'll finish that for the next week's update, and then 5% of what was given to us as guidance, we'll do like sprinkle it on top like the salt.
Yeah, so there's some reason for them not to question you.
Yeah. And then we'll present that, and it is still not like hunky dory. It is still an uphill fight. You still have to argue and fight, even though you're doing that.
Okay,
And the person who does as said, they are done for. Imagine being like left behind on Dunkirk in World War II.
Imagine being French at Dunkirk.
Yeah.
Imagine.
That is what you are like if you are if you listen to them 100%.
Imagine being pretending to be British at Dunkirk.
Yeah.
when you don't know a word in English.
Do that all the way, and then in the end pull a fast one on, like literally pull the rug under their feet.
No, so for me, at least I got lucky. The professor, I struck a deal with the head of department. I got to choose my own project guide. And before that, I already talked to him before that, and he said that he'll let me do whatever I want as long as I get stuff done. No questions asked.
Yeah, over here we're just not going to any guides.
Like, you need a guide. That's a rule.
I mean, yeah, on paper we have one. All of us have one.
Okay, I'm done with. So for me,
on paper we have one.
I picked a guy who's considered an expert in this industry. And I struck a deal with him. I do it. I asked him. He was perfectly cool with it. He's like, he didn't have any objections or anything like that.
Yeah, unfortunately over here the only sensible one, I went to the person, and he's such a sensible, humble person. He was like, yeah, this is not my field of expertise. I don't know if I have the expertise and know how to help you with this.
It's for many of these guys, like the smart ones, accept that they're not up to date.
Yeah, that person throughout the time I've been in that institution, I know that person to be a actually knowledgeable person. I've learned a lot from that.
I think the thing about these guys, they may be actually knowledgeable, but sadly most of the knowledge seems outdated. At least from my experience.
Oh no, for me the whatever stuff I learned was pretty useful.
Okay, maybe it's a difference between design and engineering.
Yeah, I mean also it's very subjective and contextual, so from person to person.
No, like for us, however, like technology keeps changing.
Yeah, like this guy keeps up with technology, so in that sense, yeah.
I mean, like, but technology keeps changing, but these guys are not allowed to teach us the new stuff.
Okay. So I'll give you an example. So the same thing was taught to us by two people.
Okay.
One guy didn't know shit about like CAD modeling, computer aided design, CAD modeling, and like most of the modern like designing and whatever stuff like that. And he didn't even really teach us or like go into even talking about it. He didn't go into technical drawings also.
What is he teaching you?
Yeah, so I'll tell you. And the other guy from whom I learned a lot, he is extremely up to date. He taught us CAD. He taught us around like with all the laboring, like crafting machines and everything. And the other guy, he so basically one day I'm sitting with the rest of the class. He breaks open, he unscrews open an electric drill.
And reassembles it?
No. He breaks it open. He shows us like, oh yeah, this is the packaging. You have to look at the interior, how the fittings are done. Sensible conversation. It's not just the gears and the motor. You have to think about the plastic fittings for them on the inside as well. So yeah, till then he's talking sensible. and he gives it to each one of us, and he like asks us to. There's this portions where you can't exactly see. You have to feel it with your hand.
Okay.
So for which, first of all, I was hesitant. There was a few students who were just going in full, like, yeah, in the cultured anime manner. I was hesitant to do that. And then,
what did they do? What?
yeah, I mean exactly what I said. I mean exactly what I said. I know what I said.
See, I know what is. I know what you know what you said. I know what you're talking about, but it still feels funny even after all these years.
Yeah. So and his conversation starts going on a slightly weird tangent, and so it comes to me. I pass it over. I don't put my hand in the internal workings portion of the gear and the housing of the drill and the drill bit, and I pass it over, and I realize the conversation started tilting a little bit, and this guy he sees that I've not done that. He gives it back to me. He breaks. It's going in a circle. He breaks the circle, the lecturer, and he gives it back to me. He's like, no, you didn't check it properly. You check it properly. I'm like, oh my god, it's okay. Yeah, thank you. I might have missed it. So I put my finger in. And at the same time he says, you need to learn all this from us. You are the next generation. If you don't take the knowledge and expertise we have, who will? Yeah, he's as if I am his grandchild. He's like, I need to pass down like my stuff to you. He literally said, I need to pass down my knowledge to you.
Yes, he has to pass down the holy fleshlight.
Yeah, as he says that, I get the confirmation, like the realization of why it was good thing that I didn't put my finger in the first time. My finger touches like I don't know how it's possible, but it felt like what was like 10 liters of grease.
I know, there will be a lot. See, the thing is, it's a good thing you didn't go to engineering school. That how I put, most stuff, engineers as a species are perverts. Okay, I'm sorry to my fellow engineers, but we as a species are perverts. The stuff we name our equipment. Of course we are perverts. Like the male pin and the female pin. The male pin can get stuck into the female pin. Electronics engineering 101. Cyber security. We have something called a USB condom. You just stick it on top of a USB and stick it in to stop data transfer.
The weird thing is, I actually asked. So I asked. This question came up in like the nuttle bolt thing.
Yeah.
And I asked this question, is it the male and female? I don't know what exactly the question was. So my response was, because I was not sure, so I asked him, this is what I've heard. Is it like the male and female coupling? And he's like, no, that is an extremely sexist view of that, this and that. I was like, okay.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. We all know what it's about. No, see, that's like, very cool. You don't
because at that point, look, you have gone through that, so you know, and I can get like.
No, I'll be honest,
you can tell for sure. I didn't know, so I was like, okay, maybe I'm wrong. I've just heard this.
No, see, Fuji, I'll be honest, okay? So what happened is, when I said that I wanted a USB condom, the entire class was like, that was done. I'm like, what? I want a piece of equipment, so my phone doesn't get hacked. So USB condom stops. So when you connect a USB, the two lines are being connected from the. One is the charging thing, the other one is the data transfer thing. So the USB condom protects you from getting viruses, aka STDs. Into your system.
Okay, so is it like a hardware or is it like
it's a hardware. It's like, so what does it's like
is it literally called USB condom?
It is called USB condom.
Okay, let's Amazon this thing.
It's extremely easy to make it yourself.
Oh, what? That stops like virtual transactions?
No.
I mean like the data transfer?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I said
so it's like, is it something like you don't let one portion of the USB reach in?
Yeah, one part of the wire is cut.
Wire is cut.
No, like, see, so what happens is like two
I thought it's like not fully pushing it and like half dipping it or something.
No, like, so the
wonderful. There's a YouTube video.
No,
So I typed it in. There's a YouTube video thumbnail in images. Oh, there's multiple. There's one by BBC News, which is literally a USB and a quantum put on top of it.
thing is, see, they accept what it is. But my class, they were like, no, how could you say such naughty words? You're supposed to be a girl. I'm like, what?
Oh,
Shut
you're
up.
supposed to be. Oh my goodness. Whoa! Somebody knew what they were marketing. So there's literally a USB with like a iPhone case. You know the iPhone AirPod case. There's a USB with like when you close it, it looks like a quantum.
So I'm
like
seeing
a
it
sealed
right now. I'm
package.
seeing it right now.
Oh, fantastic!
There's
marketing.
USB condom. There's male to female pin. You stick the male pin into the female pin. I'm like, of course. See, who says otherwise is just a prude. Okay, it's not a true engineer.
This is like this literally looks like an extender.
Yeah, it looks just like an extender. It's just some hardware that some guy designed to call that word. And it resulted in the huge discussion among Koki's class on, is it appropriate to call it that?
You know what? This could actually be very useful at like public
Airports.
charging stations.
Airports, railway stations.
Yeah.
No, that's why it was primarily designed.
You know what? I'm gonna buy this and I'm gonna give it to that professor. I'm gonna be like, yeah, you know what? Protect your phone. Take this USB condom.
Say, sir, do you know what STDs are? Just protect your phone from STDs.
Software design. Wait, STD. Okay.
Software transmitted defects.
Diseases.
Defects, not diseases, defects.
Yeah. I'm gonna do this. Sir, protect your phone from STD.
software transmitted defects.
Oh my goodness.
Now it was like a huge debate in my class. I said, is it appropriate to call it that? I'm like, some guy called it, okay, like it works, who cares?
And that actually makes sense. I've seen. I don't usually see this stuff. There's what is this Indian YouTube like comedy houses and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know all the name. There's one called AIB, etc.
Okay.
So there's AIB. There's one called EIC, East India Company. It's literally East India.
I've heard of them, but I don't watch them.
Yeah. So I don't really usually watch this, but this was like it was somebody shared it to me. Somebody made me watch it, and this one actually made sense. It was like a continuous series between a dad and a kid. So one of the things the dad explains the kid how like sex and protection works, and the kid is quite young, so the dad is puzzled like how do I, because I mean modern times the kid is gonna know, it's better the kid knows the right way around than
Okay, so chat like before we start chat, if any of you don't know about the birds and bees, it's better you get this information from a proper source instead of us, okay?
Appropriate qualified source.
Appropriate qualified source, because my education in medicine is pretty minimal at best, and my comments should not be taken at face value.
Like knowledgeable, like legitimate, always.
See, my comments are extremely inappropriate when it comes to this and should be taken at comedic value.
Yeah. So the whole thing is he teaches the kid in terms of electronics, plugs,
what,
like
male pin,
USB
female
and
pin?
stuff.
What?
No. So he's actually teaching in terms of I think what he said. Instead of this thing, a USB condom, he explained it in terms of like an antivirus software.
No, that's STD. That's not the birds and the bees.
Yeah, no. So to protect from STDs.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
So he was basically trying to tell the kid about condoms, like the physical one.
Yes, son.
And he explained it in terms of computers.
Yeah,
like
I can see him be like,
viruses.
son, if you see a crappy laptop, on the street, would you plug your USB in? No. Same way. You don't pick up bitches from the street.
Okay, That did not happen in the conversation.
You see, because based on what
That was not how it went. Yeah, that that could be like a special episode after I was like dark special
after
episode.
dark, yeah, it's actually after dark time. It's good. I don't think any kids watching. Anyone who's younger than under the age of 18, please leave.
Yeah.
This is late night comedy. You're not supposed to watch this.
Yeah, we do not mean to be rude to you, but we understand the
So when you're old enough, this video will
would
still
be
be there.
enough.
You can come and rewatch it.
Come and rewatch it in a few years and comment down below.
Yeah. Just say here in 2030, something like that.
One of there's those comments on music videos that who is here in like today is here as well. So many years after.
Exactly.
Comment down below. Oh my goodness. It's gonna be a thing now.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, like we have lots of technology which for all intents and purposes were most probably designed by the extremely cultural minds. And that has left us who live in prudish societies to come up with alternate words to describe everyday parts that some people find, how do I put this lightly, not so suitable to talk to kids about. It is, you know what?
I still can't get it out of my head.
What the?
Laptop on the street.
Yes, son, you do not stick it and say where you do not go pick up random women. It is,
Also, don't go after laptops that like just look fancy.
Yeah, exactly. Thing is, when you pick a laptop, you have to look at it from
Be
all aspects.
reasonable when you pick laptop.
No, you have to look at it from all aspects, okay?
Yeah, look at it from all aspects. Do your research thoroughly.
Yeah, exactly. So don't just look from the outside, because then you may realize that it may look fancy, but the processing isn't what you decide.
Yeah. The hidden costs may be too much.
Yeah, see, for not just that, there's maintenance cost. Then there's like when you want to play.
You can have really high maintenance costs.
See, forget even maintenance cost. When you want to play Call of Duty with the boys, okay, and suddenly starts lagging. Let's just say you want to play Call of Duty with the boys.
Yeah, it'll start lagging. There could be connection issues all over the place.
There could be connection issues, and then suddenly starts opening up random programs.
It could scare you so much that you might think you'll lose the laptop.
You may start calling up the insurance company. Then they'll be like, you know what, this isn't covered. It may leave with your wife and kids, and even the dog.
Oh my goodness.
And that is why we need a good birth and peace education in this world.
Yeah.
Especially this country, given that we have a huge kid population. They should know about the birds and bees, and just call what equipment are, okay? If it's called a cock nugget, it's a cock nugget, okay? Don't be like, you should not say that words in front of women. It is inappropriate. Yeah. See, if it's called that, it's called that. What are you supposed to come up with new names because you don't want to... See, if we're going to call the MiG... What was it again? The one with the F slur?
The what?
The MiG, what was it? I'm going to Google it and...
the MiG...
no, don't say that word. Don't say that word.
I don't know.
The gay slur. The one with the gay slur on it.
Oh, okay. The
18...
is it the FL one?
FA, MiG-15, got it. The MiG-15, FA, FAG. I'm going to stop at that.
Okay, not FL. Okay. I thought...
Flanker is fine. Flanker is not...
No. This...
not
this is the Sukhoi, I think.
No, not that one. The MiG-15 I'm just.
I got it.
You know what? So I'm just looking at.
I didn't know it was a gay slur. I just thought it was like a slur, like other swear words.
Okay, so.
I
Okay,
thought
so.
it was more like a mainstream general swear word.
So apparently it was initially called midget. The two-seater version was called midget, and the single-seater was called the F slur. So it's important to understand that the F slur is a NATO reporting name, not the actual name given to the plane by the USSR.
None of the actual names by which these Russian aircraft are popular are like Russian named. They're all like Western NATO reporting names.
Yeah, because the Russian names are pretty dumb. Okay, it's pretty hard for us to pronounce it.
Yeah, true. Some ones are nice. Like, for example,
Flanker, Foxbat.
Flanker, Foxbat, Foxhound, and Felon. Those are cool names.
But we have this. Okay, so the MiG-51 being the fighter jet has been given. Okay, so F is for fighter aircraft. So have been given the name starting with letter F. They could have called it Flintstone, Fiddlestick, or Fuckface for that matter. For the meaning of the word, the slur played the part here. Okay, so they were referring to not the slur, a bundle of pieces of raw iron to be shaped by rolling or hammering at high temperature.
What?
So it looked like, it's like a bunch of metal sticks, welded together.
Wait, the MiG-15.
No, I'm talking about the term FAGO, the slur.
Oh, okay.
So the old.
I type MiG-15, and I get the MiG apartment complex, the MiG colony, and the MiG cricket club.
Okay, so that's because based on geolocate. Okay, so it has two meanings. One is okay. So the offensive term is a gay man.
Right.
Okay, and the non-offensive term is a bundle of sticks bound together as fuel. So the MiG-15 kind of looked like that, so they called it that.
Oh, now I type the MiG-15 plane and it's showing me the MiG-21. What is wrong with my search engine today?
Okay, we'll never know for sure why it is also convenient that NATO could now call an enemy plane gay in an offensive manner. It probably wasn't a consideration at the time, although I'm sure it caused a laugh among United States Air Force pilots even now and then after it was codenamed. So when they codenamed it, they weren't trying to offend it, but now they realize that they offended it.
Yeah, sure.
Because however, the other ones, farmers, fish pet,
sure, you realize 60 years later or 50 years later. Sure.
No, see, I'm
you
quite
didn't
sure.
realize it for 50 years.
See, I'm quite sure the Americans and Brits knew what they were doing. The other NATO guys didn't.
That I can understand.
Americans, but you know what would be funny if we call it that?
That I can understand. I can understand that like some European countries didn't really realize.
You see, the Germans be like, yes, it's a bundle of sticks wrought together. Makes a lot of sense. The Americans and Brits be like, in the back.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the design, it isn't a bunch of sticks. It's just one stick.
It's one special stick that a person of that slur, what call that, stereotypically tend to use. If you catch my drift. So makes a lot of sense that they would call it that. It's
I mean, no, but who is the person who's saying that we didn't realize we were...
No, so it's like, what happened was, according to the official thing...
Is it a European person or an American, American entity which is saying that we didn't realize?
No, so what happened was, it being used as a slur is pretty recent. So when this thing was named that, the word wasn't commonly used as a slur. It's like the word gay back in the day was used for happy.
Used as that is pretty recent.
Yeah.
Okay.
A recent meaning it was pretty niche back in the day, but now it's more common.
Okay.
It's like how I put, like, back in the day the word gay was used to represent for happy people, not the current...
right. Yeah, the what is it? Is it like Shakespeare in English or is it...
No, even the more recent, like, let me check. Yeah, Edgar
In the
Allan Poe.
1900s,
No, even Edgar Allan Poe, who was like what?
mainstream happy.
Yeah.
The meaning?
Yeah.
Oh.
Let me check. Edgar Allan Poe. When was Edgar Allan Poe?
So I guess the word was adopted because of the meaning happy.
Oh, what? Gay people are happy. Yeah, that's true.
Maybe.
I assume they're more happy than they. I don't know. Maybe it's a stereotype that they're always happy.
We are not experts on the
No,
subject.
I know. I see. The thing is, when it comes to people, not like you can bundle them into a group like there's a bundle of things. I would say, why are LGBTQ called? Let me just search that. Why?
I just realized there's just no this thing. Every single time we go all over the place.
No, wait, this one's interesting, right?
There's what?
I'm like, I need to find it. Okay,
Cookies
no,
on the hunt.
go. I
Cookies
found it.
hunting.
I found it. Why it's called? It's actually, it's because it's an offensive term. Of course, it's an offensive term.
Yeah, I mean the F word we were.
No,
talking
not that
about,
word.
right?
I'm talking about gay. It started off as an offensive term against
Hey.
LGBTQ community.
There's an aircraft designated from K.
No, not gay. I'm talking about the word gay. Used to.
Oh, good. K. I was
Used
like
against-
K for
No.
K for what? Canary? Canada?
No. So LGBTQ were called gay initially because not because they were happy. Rather, the word gay became associated with happiness derived from quote-unquote immoral pleasures.
Who is this weird person who twisted it in such a how?
Over
Like-
hundreds of years, Fuji, over hundreds of years.
Like, I mean, like not for this particularly, but naming processes in general can be much more simpler than this. This is really like bound about.
It's like, so what happened was, a person of the LGBTQ community, let's say a lesbian, was called a gay woman back in there, as in a woman who was after, immoral pleasures.
Who derives pleasure from quote unquote immoral. or
Yeah,
sinful
exactly.
activities.
So the gay man, that thing. I know, quite a twisted way to come to it.
Yeah, see, the thing is, it doesn't really. I don't know. Even if like looking at it from the person who wants to degrade those people's perspective, I don't feel like now knowing the way it happened. It feels like it has lost. Like it's an empty shell.
See, it's an empty shell because the LGBT community made it an empty shell. They accepted it. Yeah, they took control of the word.
Okay, that's why it's feeling like an empty.
Yeah, so now, like, see, calling a person a male member of the LGBTQ community is attracted to men, gay isn't offensive. In fact, that's the classification. That's what they called.
That's a good way to.
So they've accepted it. They've taken control of the word, and they've removed the derogatory stance associated with it.
Yeah, I may be completely wrong here, but that feels like how in like back in the day, if you were on games a lot, if you watched anime a lot, you were shat on, and now it's completely the other way around.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that. That's like more of, that's more. That's the smaller scale, and I'd say it's different because you could one day like games and one day not like games. You get what I mean, right?
Yeah, got it. Yeah.
The LGBTQ community, it's not like they can switch it on and off.
Yeah.
It's not like an internal switch. It's like they can switch it on.
True. That is, I guess that kind of what notion would be more true of people who don't understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's, I'm actually surprised that it started off as a slur.
Yeah, that's. I mean, it's a very, how do I put it, unconventional way of winning the argument.
I say back in the day, the stereotype about Victorian England, the insults back in the day. My good sir, your mother is this and your father is this, or something like that. So it's an extension of that. And now that's the true horror, you know, coming up with extremely complicated insults to just tell him that your mom, see, back in the day, your mom, the insult your mom was like a paragraph.
Oh, it is like it's like the Winnie the Pooh thing.
Your mom.
It's the one with the top hat and the wine glass.
Yeah. Like, my dear sir, your mother is a person who fornicates with something, like, you know, just in a big paragraph. No, that's like the normal one. That's like the physically disabled poober. The physically disfigured poober. The top part wouldn't be your mom. See? 2 words. To the point. Okay, so before we end, I have a 2-minute SCP film. I just hope we don't get like 200 ads between this. Let me just get rid of this ad. I'm quite sure YouTube knows that I have OBS on. Or I'm so. Oh yeah, now I get it. They know that I'm streaming. Know for a fact I'm streaming. It's the same app, right? So they know for an app that they know for a fact.
Uselessly, unnecessarily smart.
Okay, so this is all CGI. I don't think it'll be that great, but it's not as upbeat or whatever of like as the previous one. I mean, it's not. It doesn't have a plot of that type here. So here we go. So I'll play it.
Yeah.
Class 4 clearance is required to view this footage. It was found in the wreckage of an unidentified submarine near off the coast of India. The U.S. government denies any covert submarine activity in that location.
USS Langley comms check. USS Langley comms check. We have no visual on you. Stand by.
Is it loading up?
Yeah. Oh shit! I forgot to share it with you.
I was just here like, am I supposed to wait? Am I supposed to say something?
I forgot to do that. Here you go. I'll play from the beginning.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, it's all CGI. I think it's like just a handful of guys, so it won't be the same level as the previous one.
Okay. Hey, whales. Oh, damn, prehistory. Dinosaurs.
Warning. Class 4 clearance is required to view this footage. It was found in the wreckage of an unidentified submarine.
Oh shit.
It popped up. The U.S. government denies any covert submarine activity in that location.
Do you have like a screen record going on?
Check. USS Langley comms check. We have no visual on you. Stand by.
Show them.
Yeah.
Visual confirmed.
Roger, USS.
Oh, submarine. That looks like German submarine.
Understood. We will run.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the 203 class.
Langley, did you detect that audio?
Okay, so we are also a camera on a submarine, right?
Yeah.
Unknown. We're getting some
okay, this one looks fake.
Possible earthquake.
That's all CGI.
Langley,
no. I mean the design looks unreal, like not a real submarine.
Can you course correct?
Negative.
The surface design on the one, yeah. And that is interesting. Why is there the northern lights under the water?
Oh yeah, I'll explain that thing later. Oh, that's like drugs, okay, that's drugs under the water.
Stand by.
I don't know how else to explain it.
Langley, you're breaking formation. Respond.
That's what?
It's like cocaine under the water.
Wait, did that entire submarine get like drugged or something?
Langley, respond.
Whoa. Okay, that might it would actually have taken the whole thing.
Mother of God.
That is long.
The exact location where this incident occurred has not been determined. No trace of the USS Tacoma has been found. The
you have a video recording.
SCP-3000 has not been located.
How? You literally have a video recording.
You'd like to learn more on how...
Okay, so think about that is...
That was kind of cool.
It's like a pretty cool, one-shot film, right?
Yeah, that was really cool. This one I was like sitting for more. Again, I know you said it was a 2-minute video.
Okay, and the thing is how to put and
See, now this looks like how do I put this? A high budget Loch Ness monster.
okay, so this thing is they didn't like go to remove this thing is when I say it's drugs, it's actually drugs. So this eel thingy, I forgot the number. What's it's called? 3000.
3000.
Yeah, 3000 is it secretes a liquid that makes you forget stuff.
But then, how did that liquid go through the submarine? Like inside, like. Or that part is just deliberately not explained for like.
Oh, so think about this. No one knows. It's all we know is that someone in the Bay of Bengal.
Oh, what?
Yeah, and it's associated with Ananta.
Why is it here?
Ananta Shisha, the snake. You know the snake around.
Oh. Okay, that.
The Nanga
okay,
Ananta
now,
Shisha.
that's interesting.
It's a huge snake / eel thingy. That's so
Okay,
what?
then, well, if that is the snake and that submarine is modeled after what I could see as the German 203 submarine, that is probably an Indian Navy submarine.
Yeah, maybe it's just ate everyone out. So the thing about the SCP-3000 is it eats humans and so what does it doesn't excrete, it just secretes a liquid that the SCP Foundation collects. So that's the stuff they use for
so they farm this thing?
No, they so it's like they know they cannot kill this thing.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty obvious.
It's an immortal god.
It's basically a giant prehistoric like underwater creature.
It's more powerful. It's way beyond a prehistoric thing. It's a god.
I mean, I know it's a giant creature, but if you leave it alone, you stay away from it, you're probably not gonna have much harm.
Yeah,
it's not like Godzilla that is gonna come out of the water and come close to land.
It's basically the whole Bay of Bengal. That's how big it is.
Oh, what? That's like what 1/8 or 1/10 of the Earth.
It's huge. That's the whole point. It's huge. The thing is,
how does it even sustain itself?
Yeah, that's why it's considered an anomalous object.
Okay.
So what it does is it has extremely low metabolism rate, where it slowly digests whatever it eats, and doesn't excrete, rather secretes a substance which you could be used as an anesthetic. As in if you want someone so if you want someone to forget something bad happened, just give them a shot of this magic juice.
Oh, okay. CIA juice, okay.
Yeah.
So it's basically the Men in Black Flash, but slightly more realistic.
Yeah, more or less. So that's why the Foundation has this thing where they farm its liquids. And it's presumed that it's like, in and around the Bay of Bengal.
Okay.
And it's huge, and if you come in close contact with it, you tend to forget a lot.
So it doesn't have to you don't have to directly, the liquid doesn't have to directly get into your body.
Yeah, no, it's not like you have to inject into your body.
Oh.
And if you're in close contact with a snake for too long, it kind of mentally starts to screw around with you.
Interesting.
So it's not just any snake, just a sea serpent. There is a supernatural element associated with it.
Yeah, that to see now, that would make more sense, that it's not like hyper realistic where you have to get the liquid, if you inject it into a person.
Let me just check its size. How tall is it? Okay, it's about 600 to 900 kilometers in length.
It's about what?
600 to 900 kilometers in length.
Okay, now that's kind of smaller than the vague statement of the entire Bay of Bengal.
It's presumed that it's in and around that area. It can swim around, right?
Yeah, I would say how much? I would say it's close to the size of Madagascar.
Now, when I say it's the full size, it's estimated to be 600 to 900. And
okay, estimated, right. I'm pleasantly surprised. I actually got the submarine right. Here's the image.
Yeah, it actually is.
Damn, it's not the 203. I got the naming wrong. It's the 214.
Nah, it's fine.
Hey, I'm actually good with my military stuff.
No, you are. You're a resident expert. So, and its diameter is its head is about 2.5
Yeah, look, see,
feet.
compared to now that you gave me the specifications of its length, compared to the length, the diameter feels really small.
No, diameter is really small.
I mean, yeah, looking at the video chat would think that is a gigantic thickness diameter, but if you compare that to 600 to 900 estimated kilometers, that's really tiny. That's like a tapeworm.
It is a tapeworm. It's a huge tapeworm.
It's the biggest tapeworm.
It's the biggest tapeworm named after a Hindu divine being.
That's really interesting.
Okay, so
See, I am imagining like a Jaws type movie with this thing.
actually, you can make a really good horror. The thing about when it comes to SCP horror movies,
you couldn't hide this specific one. Like it would just be there.
No, so you can't hide it. Just be there, since it's biologically creates a system where you forget stuff. It creates a liquid that makes you forget stuff.
Oh right, yeah.
No, see, Fuji, the SCP
But
founded.
I guess maybe would it be like, would there be a loophole where because it's too deep under the water you can't really see it from like satellite height?
No, satellites you can't see it. That's one reason. Another thing is whatever government footage that they get of it, it's classified. It'll be in a label as classified.
Yeah, because like here it says we don't know where that submarine went. We don't know how, like what time or what location this video was taken, but you got back the video. So
Yeah.
you clearly do know.
Now see, they know that was there at that position at that time.
But
They
now
don't know.
where it is,
No, they don't know where it currently is.
But then in the story, in the lore, isn't it that it stays in and around the Bay of Bengal?
No, it stays in and around, but keeping track of it is tough.
Ah, I see. I mean,
See,
yeah, makes sense.
I mean,
The
like keeping
oceans
track
are
of the head is
really-
tough.
Oh, oh, right.
So like at some
Yeah,
point,
you would have to keep like you find the cylinder. You have to go like 600 to 900 kilometers in all directions.
Oh yeah, another thing is okay. So like when I say mentally screws around with your head, it instigates you to off yourself.
It does what?
Instigates you to not be alive. As in go
Oh,
manually
it
override your.
basically makes you go crazy and want to kill yourself.
Yeah. So that's why
On
like
top of which you lose memories at the time.
yeah.
My goodness.
Basically fucks around with your head. What is it classified as? So they have like a 3-level classification. Like one is safe, the other one is I think Keter is world ending, and then I think there's one classification between that.
So there's named classifications for these like creatures in the.
There's like a 3-level classification. One is safe. So when we say safe, it's not safe in the traditional sense.
It's safe in like the universe destruction sense.
I mean, as in it can be contained without any security on that. You can just put it in a box and it'll be fine.
Ah, okay.
You get it, right? It's not like you have to know.
It's like Casper.
No, not like Casper. It's like a non. It's a non. How I put it? It's like an object that doesn't have any sentience.
Got it.
It doesn't entice you to use it, or it's just chilling out.
It has properties, but it doesn't really. Yeah, right. It isn't sentient, right?
Okay, it's called the Thaumiel. Is basically it's beneficial for the Foundation.
The what is?
So
the
the- so
lower
the-
rank one.
Okay, so safe is safe. Like let me just search SCP classifications. So I think there are 4 or 5 classifications, not 3. 3 is the threat level. Object class. Let me just pull that up. There's safe. That's like safe. You know what I said? What you can keep it without needing security. Euclid requires some more resources to contain. So when I say a few more resources, I mean it can cause a lot of harm. but it doesn't, doesn't like, it's not world ending per se. As in, how I put the shy boy would come under, I think, Euclid.
Okay. So like it will cause significant harm, but you can actually stop it.
Yeah. You can contain it with, Keter is another thing that's extremely hard to contain.
The what? Oh, that is the next rank?
At the 3rd level, yeah.
Okay.
So, but you can't be contained. Thorn meal is those that, they use to contain other SCPs.
Oh, what?
Okay, so you use, it's like
So there's a class where you can use that class against other classes.
Yeah. Neutralize is just destroyed. Apollyon are those that cannot be contained.
Okay.
And there's Archeon. Archeon are those that can be contained but are not contained for some reason. And then they're like, you know what? We'll just let it out. I want to know what the Scarlet King comes under. So Scarlet King is like the big bad of SCP mythos.
Oh, I see.
There are like multiple versions of this this being.
Hmm.
Let me check. Scarlet thing. There's.
I'm like, I was just while we were looking for this, I had my Amazon page open, so I was like, you know what, let's just scroll through, let's see if there's some like new diecast models and stuff. And there's the Top Gun Matchbox toys. And it's an F-35, but what has clearly seems to have happened is they ran out of the F-35 toys. And they started giving the F-18s and the SR-72, the newer one, whatever the secret plane is. And there's just a bunch of mad people in the review section. They're like, this is not the plane I ordered the F-35. This is funny.
Okay, so
misleading picture. Sad thing over here in India is people actually know their shit. Like the buyers, the customers know their shit. The sellers don't really care.
No, so what happens is we actually complain with Amazon, you can get stuff done.
Yeah, no, you can, but it's, how do I put this? If I try to talk to the Indian, whatever, the local head of Matchbox or whatever, they'll have no clue. They'll not understand the difference between
you shouldn't talk to them.
No, I know, but how do I put this? In let's say in US or in Europe, you have a proper mechanism of selling like toys and models of the real stuff, where everybody more or less knows what they're doing. Here is just, oh yeah, toy fighter plane, go. Take it.
Oh, see, that I understand what you're saying. That's why you do not talk with them, you talk with Amazon directly.
Yeah, it's just...
Okay, so the Scarlet King, the rough
outline
is...
What is Scarlet? What is the lore of Scarlet King?
It's an eldritch god formed as the manifestation of the tension between the modern world and the pre-modern world and the rage it creates.
So it's a manifestation of world?
No, it's a manifestation of the conflict between modernization and return to monkey.
Okay. That's interesting.
And so the more you believe on it, the more powerful it gets.
Oh, this is that kind of stuff. Oh, right. This is like Noragami.
More or less, yeah. Actually, if you look at many Asian beliefs, it's something like that.
It's basically the god will die if you don't believe in the god, and if you believe in the god gets stronger and stronger. More people believe in the god.
Yeah, but see, no, but those gods are benevolent beings. This one isn't.
Yeah.
So this one has, oh shit, it has like a lot of kids. Holy, a lot of kids. Good lord.
A non-benevolent god has babies?
Yeah. So it's like, so one of them supposed to bring the apocalypse or something like that. Okay, so the Scarlet King solidified into a sentient entity after it was defined as such by the SCP Foundation. Following the group's creation in the 1820s, they created the biggest enemy.
No, wait, I didn't understand.
So what happened was the SCP Foundation came to the conclusion that it's a real being. Okay?
Oh!
Thereby creating it in the process, and due to that, all its history became reality.
Oh, so if people just stop believing in it, you take down your biggest enemy.
Yeah, so that's why now it's classified as safe. It used to be classified as Keter, now it's classified as safe.
Because nobody actually believes it.
No, because they spread enough, propaganda to make sure that it's not believed.
Okay. So it has to hit like a believer threshold to become unsafe. Got it.
Yeah, for example, was worshipped by the Devoid Devoid civilization. So Devoid in this case is similar to the Persian. It's similar to the Persian definition of a Devoid, not the Hindu definition of one.
Got it.
So the Devoids.
Weirdly, these guys take the time to put in like
a lot of
deep lore behind it.
Oh, so it's a community built fandom. As it see right now, we both can even write up an article and call it a new SCP.
Interesting.
And
what if the SCP organization itself is like the Scarlet King? Because people started believing it started existing.
So there's like this really fun theory that it's really fun theory that the SCP Foundation is actually an organization. All these documents are real ones. They're just putting it out there. So we're like, no agents will be stupid enough to put it out.
Oh, it's like the alien thing.
Yeah.
You make alien movies and stuff, and you'll be like,
Sure, they're real, all right. Which government agency which quasi government agency will be stupid enough to put it up?
You know what? They should actually do that about area. What is that?
The thing about Area 51 is they made enough bullshit about that place that now
there's a gift shop close by.
Fuji, Area 51 is just the Nellis Air Force testing range.
Yeah,
even
in the original thing where there was the people who worked there who were talking about it. The person like came back and he tried to like make it clear to the public that the weird place he was talking about wasn't Area 51. It was some other thing before Area 51, like something like the Transformers Sector 7.
No, so the thing about Area 51 is all that alien thing, most of it is just made up. Okay, it's made up to confuse the Soviets.
Okay.
It was made up to make the Soviets be like, the Americans have alien technology, we should be scared of them. So like if you give the illusion that that they have biologically contained aliens instead of aircrafts being created over there, tested over there. You get what I mean? It's standard. It's like psychological warfare.
You may wanna start a nuclear warfare with US, but do you wanna start a nuclear warfare with another planet?
More or less. Oh yeah, so I was talking about the Devoids in SCP Foundation, and so there's an SCP object where it's a history book about the Devoids, and the funny thing is that thing can actually rewrite history.
Interesting.
So what you do is you just drop a few put some human blood on top of it. And
on the book.
Yeah, on the book, and a new page is created each time I think you drop a fixed amount of blood.
Okay.
Thereby rewriting history as we know it.
As in, like you can yourself write stuff on the new pages, or
no. So the book decides on its own.
Oh, then yeah, less controllable.
So what happened was the Devoid civilization starts off, when the cavemen existed, and these guys fucked over enough that the Mongolians came in contact with the Devoids. They're like, what, few more pages, bring in the next human, let's slaughter them.
Nice.
They were like, what's the worst that could happen?
This is like what is those, one of those civilization games.
Yeah, No, another thing is the SCP Foundation. You have like the absurd. You have like a killer clown. Okay, you have like the dumbest absurd ones, and you have existential horror like the Scarlet King. At the same time, because there is one specific one called where is it? There's there's one where the SCP Foundation quote unquote captures I think 6 of his wives, human wives. Not in the traditional sense of a wife, as in they have his kids.
Okay.
So the five of them are dead, and by the time the Foundation gets to them, and they've given birth to monstrosities. So one of the versions states that. So the entire thing is all of them are written in the format of documents. We don't know which ones are real, which ones aren't. So it's believed that according to one specific scientist that. Like the one in charge, that if the 6th wife gives birth to a child, that'll cause the apocalypse.
Okay.
So they keep her in constant stress so that she doesn't give birth.
Oh, you keep.
It's not a human child.
No, but that's how that works. That you keep a person in stress.
When I say stress, they keep torturing her. 24/7.
I mean, and that must be more terrible, but because they'll be deliberately keeping it to a point where the person doesn't get overwhelmed. And
No, the thing is, they're not supposed to kill her. They're supposed to keep her alive. Long.
That is more like.
But there's another version which states that this entire thing is just a cover story, because that's what the cult that worship the Scarlet Kings wants. Rather. Because the thing is, you need there's one version which says that you need to torture the mother so the child is born mentally destroyed, thereby creating a monster.
That's.
So the other theory is that that's just the publicly leaked documents. Like there's another document.
I don't think that actually how. I don't think an unborn this is again I'm talking in realistic stuff. I don't think an unborn baby really consciously will understand stresses of the mother.
Nah, Fuji, it's not a human, okay? It's not a human. It's an abomination.
Yeah.
It's an eldritch
This kind of stuff does go over my head usually.
It's Lovecraftian horror. It's an eldritch abomination.
What the heck?
What happened?
I mean, as I got bored of Amazon, so I just went to normal Google to look up diecast military models.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unfortunately it's out of stock, but on some website there's a Russian ICBM truck for 180 rupees. It's out of stock, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, funny thing is, Fuji, the rate
really nicely made.
See, Fuji, at the rate the currency is falling, the ruble is falling. You can buy an actual ICBM truck for that price.
And the packaging is it's actual Russian packaging by the looks of it. God damn it! Why is it out of stock? This is it's really good. It's not one of those you go down in your street kids toy stores and you buy that plastic.
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. For how to put this? Maybe it's not as good as what the picture shows it to be.
I mean, it shows it with packaging. Unless this is one of those scam stuffs, then.
Nah, it could be one of those scam stuff. Just saying.
Yeah, it could be.
Okay, so I found another line about Scarlet King, their history. So, some of the tension between pre-modern and modern that would shape the Scarlet King arose in Southeast Asia, as it was colonized and westernized by the British Empire. The British so the British defined and categorized many of the Asian cultural beliefs and practices, causing rage amongst the natives, and as part of the concept that would become the Scarlet King became more defined as well. Although this did not please it. So what happens is when there's a conflict between tradition and modernity, the Scarlet King becomes more powerful.
Interesting.
And it's not a linear history. It's the more you define it, the more the past it's rewritten to create this being. There's a lot of Lovecraft, there's a lot of cosmic horror and eldritch abominations in this world, in the SCP world. There's a being called the Hanged King that's similar to the Yellow King from Lovecraftian horror.
Hmm. Yeah, I really find I have a hard time understanding this whole genre.
Lovecraftian horror. So it's like how the
No,
entire.
SCP.
Nah, see, SCP is anyone can write it. Literally anyone can write it. If you want to write something about, you can write it. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, no, but I how do I put this? As somebody who's not really uh, how do I put this?
Dived into it.
Yeah, dived into it, and I'm like I already have my brain into like hobbies and stuff. This might sound like an old person, but it's really hard for me to understand the appeal of something that by the end of it you completely don't understand anything.
Nah, see, it's more of a put. Maybe you're not
It's
supposed to
like you
understand.
are exactly where you were at the beginning of it.
No,
You're
maybe
just puzzled and like, what did I just see?
no. So the entire point is maybe you're not supposed to understand it. As a human being, maybe it's like beyond your species. Like how I put it, it's like it goes a lot in the cosmic horror. And cosmic horror's biggest thing is us as a species, we're not supposed to understand certain stuff.
But you see, that's the point of like, if I don't get it, what am I like? What do I do with it?
Or maybe it's supposed to point out that you don't want to know the answers.
Okay.
Maybe the answers aren't what you truly seek.
So that could be like basically like strategic nuclear missiles. Like it is so horrific you don't actually want to push the button.
That's so horrific that you go crazy. Now that's basically cosmic
Oh yeah,
horror.
right. So that I wouldn't call it exactly a scam, but kinda it isn't for like 180 rupees. It's more like for 8,000 rupees, which is what?
What's 180 rupees the delivery cost?
Yeah, maybe actually technically even that should be more.
Now 180 from Russia.
Look, 8,000 makes more sense looking at the absolute. Like this is really well done.
See, 180 would be just delivery
quality.
cost. Then we have tax. Then we have shipment cost. Delivery and shipment are different, by the way.
Yeah.
Because
This is really well done.
a packet from Kerala to here costs 180 rupees if you take the speed post.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? it's like
It's a
180.
beautiful model, but yeah, it's out of reach.
Fuji, I won't be able to get it because there's no conversion rate between ruble and rupee right now.
I mean, makes sense. It's currently unavailable on Amazon. Makes full sense.
Because
So it's so perfect. There's a Russian ICBM diecast model toy, which is currently unavailable on Amazon. While right under it, there's a B-2 bomber, which is very finely available.
yes, capitalism
for
defeats
half the price.
capitalism defeats communism again. The thing about the thing about see the Russian ruble
like
maybe
this model even has like, what do you call it? The hydraulic stand thingies which go down for stability.
Oh, it has those.
Yeah, those aren't movable. They're like static, but they're built into the design. It's really nice detail. There's like tiny, like 3 tiny fire extinguishers also like molded from the metal in the front of the truck.
You know what? I have a feeling that the reason the Russians suck is because they spend too much time on their models than their actual equipment. Manning their actual equipment.
Yeah, could be. This model looks. I mean, I don't think. How do I put this? Let's.
No,
yeah.
it's like how I put it. It's like you see, even if I sell models on Etsy, I can retire as an oligarch.
Yeah, but wouldn't that be like capitalist?
No, see, the thing is, like, see, we like to joke that Russians aren't capitalist, but Russians are the most capitalist people out there.
Yeah.
See, we tend to.
Look at this. It's like good.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good.
And even the second door opens. That actually opens.
Yeah, I don't think you'll get your hands on it anytime soon.
Yeah, man.
So the thing is, the Soviets are communist, the Russians are capitalist. They're like, they're crony capitalism. They practice crony capitalism. That's why oligarchs are a thing. Back in the Soviet day, oligarchs would be sent to Gulag. Like oligarchs, the only thing you have, the closest thing you have to an oligarch is Stalin or Brezhnev. You know, the guy in charge.
The guy in charge, yeah, basically.
It's the concept of oligarch is pretty new, and the way the oligarchs came to power is ingenious and terrifying at the same time. They just bought. So back in the day when they were nationalizing companies, the only people who had the money to buy said companies was the mafia. So what's Putin's predecessor's name? I forgot his name. The chubby dude. Yeltsin, Boris Yeltsin.
Yeltsin, okay.
So Yeltsin knew that the mob running the companies is a bad idea. So he came up with a coupon system. But at the same time, he rigged it in favor of his friends. Now, of course, he rigged it. Like he was corrupt as well. They're all corrupt. Okay, even the current guys, even Mr. Ukraine is part of Russia. Midget is corrupt. Okay. So what happened was he made it easier for his friends. He gave coupons to everyone, while he knew for a fact that poor people won't be thinking about the future. Poor, when I say poor, I mean the majority of the Russian population. They're not going to be like, yes, I shall invest in I'm going to invest in Sukhoi, anything like that. They'll be like, how can I feed my family? They're not going to think about it. They're not going to think about like 20 or 30 years down the line. They're too busy trying to feed themselves. So what happened was, this guy came up with the brilliant idea that so the oligarchs were they were middle class, more or less, upper middle class.
Okay.
And they bought these coupons for food, and they used these coupons in bulk to buy up stocks and companies.
Yeah.
They got like big, huge companies with bargain bin prices. And that is how a species known as the oligarch was created. And from that, and what happened was, most of them were chummy with the president, Yeltsin, at that time.
Got it.
And when Putin came to power, he got rid of these guys and got his friends on board.
Oh, so it's basically like a gang of friends.
Yeah.
What usually visits a bar, then they get replaced by another gang of friends.
And more like, if you're loyal to the president, you get to keep your companies. See, that's why the strategy of. See, I personally think the oligarchs have to be sanctioned, not because of the Russian thing, because most of these guys have links to the mafia. Most, if not all of them, have links to the mafia. That's why they'll be like, I'm a poor businessman doing business. Yes, I stole money from the government and I sent my daughter to a private boarding school in Paris. And yes, I just have friends who have tattoos on their knees, which say, but I'm a good man. I'm a simple family man who has like 50 mistresses. I'm like, yeah, sure you are. So the thing is, if you look at Roman Abramovich, he can't sue me if he's going to get poisoned. He has links to the mafia. The Chelsea guy who got accidentally poisoned by his friend. Putin is like a legend. He's like poisons everyone. It's like, sorry for, like, if I poison my own team, no one else will kill them. The thing about the oligarch system is, it's a system that breeds corruption.
Corruption?
It breeds. Like 1%.
Breeds corruption. Got it.
Like, for example, the minister of, Sergei Lavrov's daughter is married to an oligarch.
Oh.
So it's in his best.
You could just call it like the old monarchical.
No, yeah, it's like how, but that's like back in the day, families, married into powerful families.
It's literally like a kingdom era political.
Yeah, so that's why when people say Putin wants to bring back the Soviet Union, I laugh and I'm like, no, he's trying to bring back the Tsarist regime.
The what is it?
The
Russian monarchy.
Yeah, Russian Empire. He wants to bring it back. See, like how, but in many ways it makes sense, because he started doing this when when his mistress gave birth to a son.
He started doing what?
His entire Ukraine, his mistress gave birth to a son, I think in 2021.
Oh, okay.
The one that's young enough to be his granddaughter.
I didn't know any of that, but yeah.
Yeah, he's a freak. He's stuck in every girl he's met, okay? I won't be surprised if he watches YouTubes and be like, I'm gonna smash that. I wouldn't be surprised if
I
that's
mean, look, see, that would be the one thing where it wouldn't really be seen as that out there.
Yeah, in Russia it won't be seen out there because those guys are into hentai, okay?
Yeah.
You'll be like, yes, President Putin has good taste. Silver Whale is really good. It's like, no, then it'll be like, one guy will be like, what about Nyanas? He'll be like, everyone will look at him weird.
Yeah.
They'll be like, Nyanas is child. No, Nyanas is 5,000-year-old demon.
Oh, then they'll have the legal lolly debate.
Yeah, they'll have that debate alright. They'll be like,
Oh my god.
no, say funny thing is, I think the model update makes her look less like a lolly now.
I haven't really been keeping up with the stuff.
No, I just come across a couple of clips. The thing about her is it's... Nyanas, don't take this wrong way, she's weird.
I mean, I did see like a YouTube documentary on somebody talking about the whole...
Was it the person who sent it to you?
Maybe, I don't know.
Because
I a documentary about it, but then again, it's somebody on the internet versus somebody on the internet's word. So,
but you've heard the song, right? The infamous song.
Oh yeah, you are the person who sent it to me.
Yeah,
Yes.
the true SCP, the true anomalous object.
The song connected. It refreshed every bit of memory I had. Yeah.
The true.
Weird, yes. The some part which is harmful to oneself, yes, true. Is it because the person was on the internet exposed seemingly without oversight? I feel so.
No, see, thing is, Nyanas was what, 16 when she said. See, people be like, she's 16, she's old enough to... So, dude, you know how stupid 16 years olds are?
No, way before 16.
No, she was 15 or 16. I would say she's okay. Let's just say she was 16. Okay, let's say the highest bound, 16. Do you know how stupid 16-year-olds are? She wanted to make an edgy joke, and she made a really dumb edgy joke. Like, I'm not gonna hold that against her. Okay, people be like, she's a 16-year-old, she knows what she's doing. I'm like, no, she's a 16-year-old. You prove the point. 16-year-olds are fucking stupid.
As much older than 16, I can tell you, people like quite a few years after that also don't know the shit they are pulling.
Yeah, exactly. See, even if she knew what she was doing, she was 16. Okay, she was 16. She thought she's being edgy and funny. But then, see, back in the day, being edgy was considered being cool.
Yeah, true. I'd say to an extent that's still there.
Yeah, it's still there, but not as socially accepted
as predominant as back then. Yeah.
You know, back in the day, how many slurs kids used to say? My God.
Yeah, I've been in a few lobbies. I know. I've heard a few of those.
Wait a minute, should I buy the 1922 5,000 mark from Amazon? Germany red note. I want to see if it's legit.
Oh right. Oh.
Oh, let me see. Is Orcos awake? Hey, Orcos, is this real? Oh, he's awake. I don't want to be in trouble with this. Orcos, is this real? He's gonna be like, he's gonna be like, you have insulted my entire species, but yes, but yes, it is real.
Where was it? I shared the. Do you know the McDonald's or Burger King the image?
Yeah.
I mean, like what is written in German, but like if you read
it in
English,
I sucked.
Yeah. I literally I saw that. I sent it to her. I was like, what does this actually mean in German?
See.
And the funny thing was, what was it? It was a Halloween.
Hiding.
Yeah, it's an employment offer. I'm like, that's one hell of an employment
No, but he
offer.
said to me, I'm like, yeah, see, from both the English way and the German way, it's technically an employment offer.
I'm like, that's one interesting employment offer I've never seen before.
So there's 3 Soviet coins. You know what? I'll go for the Soviet. Given how in demand these things are, but does this have a shipment? It's free delivery. Okay, add to cart. Done. That should do it. So what I haven't got, so anyway, I need a like daily planner calendar thingy. So while I'm buying that, I'll just buy something else as well. That's what's going on now.
Ah, got it.
And I have a pretty
Oh
vast.
shit, that just reminded me the kid who watches my, I mean not now, but who used to watch my stuff is coming over.
Oh no! What are you gonna tell about USB condoms now?
See, the more concerned part is when we used to interact when you were on chat and I was the one speaking.
Oh, that's it. Come on, that's not as bad as what we're doing now.
Yeah, but now I know for a fact that kid is not watching. First of all.
Yeah, it's the middle of the night.
Yeah, and like this first of all, one, because it's on your channel. Two, because it's more gonna go over the head that.
Let's say Fuji. The thing is, you know, I was going into doomsday cults from a specific Middle Eastern religion, and then I suddenly stopped.
Exactly.
Did you know why I stopped?
It's a single digit kid. It's not gonna get any of that.
Yeah, but it's still a kid. Okay, it's still a kid. I don't want the kid to be exposed to stuff like this.
Yeah, the kid will probably forget this. I mean, they're not gonna see this. First of all, that's.
I hope it goes overhead.
I am most concerned about the part that what I said, that I hopefully she has never seen the portion where you are in chat. I am talking. And I'm basically saying stuff which very easily has double meaning in it.
Yeah, see, think about that all as far as like, you know, immature jokes, okay? It's like what our dear friends did in our Twitter group chat, which...
The kid's mother's also gonna be there, so that's
okay, got it. Now,
the mother's the one who showed it in the first.
Like, yes, my dear child, we shall watch extremely vulgar stuff by anime characters because it's cartoons, so it's fine.
Yeah, that's the thing. Nobody knew, right? The people who came in thinking they were watching a stream about making models.
You know, it
making models and playing video games.
So when you're talking about VTubers, it could swing either way.
What could swing either way?
I mean, you go in there expecting something, you get something else.
Yeah, true.
Just as any other VTuber we know.
See, the weird thing is, I don't exactly remember telling them. Nor do I remember telling them about my channel.
That's the thing about being a micro celebrity. People find out.
Yeah, so no, the thing is, I need to then later, after I have confirmed, I need to have a talk with Mom Fuji.
Mom, why you do this to me? Mom be like,
because that is pretty much the only way that could have gone out.
I say, Mom, why you do this to me? Mom be like, because I'm proud of you, son. That doesn't mean you have to screw me over, Mom. Why
you know what? In a way, I am happy that like the people I have to tell about it, this kind of mistakes are happening now. Because if accidentally I start doing this regularly and there's an increase in size, I don't want my parents walking around publicly talking about this.
Nah, sir. Think about it. That's why I never told my parents about YouTube. But the only person who knows is my sister, and she doesn't watch my stuff.
No, see, I had to because I have to get like it's like the financial thing in a firm. You have to give like you have to give like a reasonable value paper, right?
Yeah, I got it.
Why do I need this equipment? Why do I need this money and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, so that's where I have that advantage because since I earn my own money and so me and my parents have this agreement where yeah, you do what you want with your money, but just don't waste everything. Invest in save some of them.
If I was earning right now, then I would have like even the slightest issue. I would just be like, I'm doing something. I need the room completely to myself, complete silence for a
Oh
while.
yeah, another thing is you live with your parents, right? So it becomes tougher when you live with them.
See, no, for me personally, it's lucky because I still have a separate room.
No, I don't think your parents are supportive of you. Like my parents would even be supportive, but you get what I mean, right? And certain cases they would be like, wow, why you spend time play voice acting as anime characters?
No, I'm pretty sure that's not like what we get as family support is not the norm.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's not the norm. So yeah, that's in and of itself, it's a pretty good thing. But yeah, it's just funny because I was on call. I talked to this mother and child, and then the mother's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, we watch your stuff." I'm like, "Excuse me, hello, 1 second, wait, what rewind?"
Oh, so same thing happened to me with
Why? How?
So same thing happened to me with the kid who was on chat. She's like, you know what? You're cooking. I watch your stuff. I'm like, good lord, which stream did you watch? I'm like, oh, what horrendous stuff did I teach the kid? Because see, half the stuff I speak is not suitable for kids.
Yeah, it's not.
Nah, I'd say most of the stuff I talk is not suitable about kids. In fact, even the stuff
I feel like most of the stuff both of us end up talking is not suitable, but in different ways.
See, most of the stuff I talk with anyone, okay, unless it's a kid, it's not suitable for kids.
Yeah.
See, the only
time we talk like, which is like, what?
Normal.
All audiences allow, okay, you can come and watch the whole thing. I guess that's when we set it before stream, like,
yeah,
this is
we set boundaries.
Yeah.
Even the one with Kobo.
And usually we don't do that.
And even the one with Kobo, like the one that I was the most quote unquote civilized, I'd say. Even that kind of went into territory which is not suitable for kids.
I would say the one where we had on Fuji Talk, where I had you on, that was pretty much. I don't think there's any part in it that there's issues with anybody watching.
Yeah, see, that was
that's a different thing that kids wouldn't understand.
No, see, we previously, in that case, we previously agreed not to,
Yeah.
That's the reason. Because we agreed to restrict our talks to a specific thing. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
This case, we didn't agree to it. Like, here, like, what we're talking now, it was like, I'll just show you a film and we'll talk about whatever we want.
Yeah, exactly.
And
the reason why on that place I keep it usually out of, like, I like to talk about, anybody in the viewers, don't get me wrong, I like to talk about it. That's why I am here more often talking about stuff like that. It's just I couldn't be bothered with trying to entertain or waste my time on somebody who might take me seriously. And here I know nobody will take me seriously.
Here, funny, the thing that scares me is maybe we might actually make changes to national policy at the same things. They'll be like, yes, I can imagine my prime minister be like, yes, we should listen to the redhead one. She makes a good point.
Imagine part of the intelligence operations is like looking up strategies and data and stuff like that, and keeping it like anonymous, and one of the agents come across our these streams, and they're like, yeah, this is good source. Nobody will. This is so bait. This is so out there that in 1,000 years nobody will think about this.
Now, see, the thing is, if they want actual quote unquote intelligent stuff, yeah, I can give it to them, but I'm not talking about anything classified. I'm talking about just actual analysis, but then it'll alienate 90% of my audience. Because, see, I can talk about Burma. I can talk about my predictions of what could happen in Burma. I could talk about what I think is the ideal solution for what's happening in Sri Lanka. But it's not what see, people.
Yeah, it's a constant logic and sentiment kind of a balancing act.
Not just that, how it put. it's like most of the audience comes for. See, even if I talk politics and shit, they come for some sort of escape from reality, right?
Exactly,
I do
exactly.
that.
It's we don't provide, how do I put this? We don't provide with one of those like serious strategic talk kind of environments.
Even
We are
in
here
that,
for like bullshitting.
no, even that how like see you would like to talk about the America. People would like to listen about the Americans, the Brits, so on. They won't want to listen to stuff we've done, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Or something that we've done or is affecting your neighbors directly. Something that hits close to home.
Yeah. Exactly. Hitting close to home, right?
Yeah, you don't want to know about the massive killing of innocents in our neighborhood, or you get what I mean, right? Or the economic
I'm
hardships
pretty
of
sure everybody who is listening gets what you mean, but yeah.
or the economic hardships of our neighbors down. So we don't want to hear about that because that's what we see every day.
It's like, how do I put this? This whole environment is set up in such a way that it's an escape. To an extent, it's an escape.
Yeah, it's entertainment.
And then if the provider puts up something that is, well, you've just seen it maybe outside your window or on your like news outlet, and then you're coming here looking at basically what looks like a cartoon character say the same thing.
Yeah,
You're
right.
like, what the heck?
You know what? What the hell? I don't want to watch this cartoon anymore. It's in that stage because I could talk a lot about that. I've done a lot of in-depth analysis about that.
Yeah, I like to even don't get me wrong, everybody in the audience who might be watching. I like to discuss, I like to talk, I like to get people's views on all sort of stuff. Strategy, tactics. Mostly I personally I spend my mental space in like military kind of stuff, but sometimes the political angle gets mixed up. But we very like, I guess obviously there's obvious reasons why we don't do this on street.
Yeah, and this is not counting that Susan will strike us where we stand.
Look, that's the other reason.
No, Susan will strike us all out of existence, okay?
Yeah.
She'll delete our source code.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's the other thing.
That's the thing. So the thing is like, see, if anyone in the Indian government wants me to hear me talk more about that, you have my contact details. You can DM me on Twitter, okay? So see, the thing is, this is actually quite suitable for them because funny thing is like I received an SMS from the Indian government saying that if you want tips about cybersecurity, please follow us at this page.
Oh,
I'm like, yeah, you guys use Twitter, right? So if you want any tips, you can DM me, okay? My DMs are open.
Sweet.
Yeah, like you don't need to send me SMS, you can DM me, it's fine, it's cool. They can DM me and we can schedule a Zoom meeting or that's the comment
You know what? Intelligence people need to get into this. The intelligence people.
What?
I'm sure at least one of you might be watching. You need to get into this genre. You're missing out. You need to get into VTube.
Fuji, I'm quite sure. I'd say one in every 20 VTubers is a cop, undercover cop, okay? See, I won't say intelligence, say law enforcement is on this right now. See, out of the I don't know how many VTubers I interact with on a regular basis, at least one of them is a cop. Or has some connection to law enforcement. Because given the amount of
look, I just wanna see who is that the guy with the green hoodie and the mask and the glasses who like sits as the president, who is now
I forgot his name. Quite.
I want like maybe quite also quite works because he has the whole presidential setup, basically a PNG image, but I want a VTuber to come and say, ladies and gentlemen, we got this.
You know what? We can actually do that.
I want that. Like with context, with like some some actual thing they have done with context. I want this person to come up to like their Twitch chat or like their YouTube channel, like, ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Fuji, we can actually do that, but the thing about that is that'll require a lot of stuff that our community does not cross. Lines that our community does not cross.
Yeah.
One specific line, the IRL thing. See, we both know one person that we can call the cops on right now. Just saying, we know at least one person that we can call the cops on right now.
We know, but we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. No, we can find out, but we shouldn't find out.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, and as a cop told, you know, he's stupid enough to be caught on his own, right? Why are you sweating? He's stupid enough to be caught on his own, right?
Yeah.
You know, but that it's like, see how I put. Surprisingly, that individual's gone silent. Which in a way is a good thing.
There's a, how do I put it? Obvious, expected, but not no, I wouldn't say not expected. Maybe it was like obvious, expected, but I had like the benefit of the doubt, thinking like I hoped for a different route to come about of how this environment is developing.
Nah, see, thing is,
I cannot think of a more neutral way to put it.
I know what you're talking about. See, thing about, I'll just give a more generic overview without pointing figures and things like that. The thing about VTubers as a whole is, it gives anonymity, which is good. Okay, let's say it gives anonymity. It gives people the ability to be stuff that they wanted to be but couldn't physically become. It gives you an idea to make, gives you a challenge to make new friends, come in contact with also new ideas and all that. But when anonymity comes
with its own risks.
Yeah. So anonymity, there's a good side, which I just mentioned, and then there's the dark side. The thing about the thing about a good side is, see, think about dark side. All it takes is one person to ruin it for the rest of us.
Yeah.
I mean, our reputation's down the drain. All it takes is one individual to go after kids. Same.
Yeah.
Because that's like that's like every human being can accept that's the lowest of the low of our species. You get what I mean, right? So it's like, all it takes is one individual to ruin it, and after that we're all screwed. But yeah, for that context, I think at least one VTuber when interacted with on a regular basis could be a cop. I wouldn't be surprised. If they're like, you know what, I'm FBI. I'm like, yeah, I knew it, but I didn't expect you to be the one. Let me take a look. Who do I think is FBI? Let me just go through the list.
I mean, if you do know, and if you want to let me know, you can let me know in the text form.
And I see, Fuji, I don't think anyone's really FBI, okay? Like,
No. See, the thing is,
I know.
If, like really, if that does turn out to be true, we don't really want to out a person.
I've sent you a person.
Oh!
Interesting choice, right?
Oh, extremely interesting. What the heck? Okay, okay. If CBI Chan is actually FBI, then damn.
Think about it. She's like first Sasquatch.
That's fantastic cover.
No, that's like the best cover, right?
I did not expect CBI Chan to be FBI, but yeah, damn it. That's.
Now imagine this. Okay, imagine this. She wears a school dress, okay? She wears a school dress.
See, the thing is, I put. Actually, yeah, that school dress doesn't really define.
Yeah, that's why I said school dress. It's perfect for, see, even I wore a school dress on stream, so we all wear school dresses at least once in our career. We're talking about weird costumes, guys. For
no, I don't think I have, but yeah,
Fuji.
most people, yes.
Yeah, most of us have worn school dress at least once, or at least in fan art or anything like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's wearing a school dress. It's
Damn,
perfect. It's like
I'm still surprised.
perfect bait. It's like a perfect bait. Okay. Someone be like, "Hello, little girl." Then she'd be like, "No, happy. Open up."
This is literally the you know those artwork, like really high quality artwork memes where there's small little like kid girls with like FBI costumes and
Yeah.
like they have the buckets and they're like trick or treat and they're standing outside the door.
Yeah.
And you can see them through the keyhole, and on either side of the door, which you can't see,
That's
on
what.
the wall there's SWAT team.
Yeah, exactly. It's perfect, right? She has a perfect cover.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Damn.
Like that, it makes a lot of sense.
You know the image where like the top half of the head just blows off and there's like eyes get really big.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the mountain peak just blew off.
Yeah, but it logically, see, think about it, makes sense.
Yeah, maybe I have not really.
I
Maybe
mean,
I don't have enough context.
I mean, from just a joke perspective, makes sense because
Yeah,
JRT.
from a joke perspective, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, JRT. I know her. She's not FBI.
But yeah, from a joke perspective, yeah, that makes very good sense.
Well, actually, be really cool if she's actually FBI. The entire thing was me, Dio, all along.
It was, I was gonna say that.
Was
me all along.
Once she catches all the kitty dealers, it'll be like, it was me, Dio, all along. Imagine that.
Oh,
She'll be like, I set up.
That's the perfect trap.
Okay, I'm gonna give you another person.
Okay. Let's see. Is this? Yeah. Actually, I mean, I've seen this person quite less. But
Yeah, but
even
this one's kind of a stretch because I know what she does for a living.
Okay.
But she's ex-military, so possible.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, but this person did give that vibe though. I've interacted directly. I have not interacted at all.
You know what? I think we'll just end the stream because two reasons. One is chat will feel alienated. Second of all, this is
sorry.
Sorry, chat. Hope you understand. We're talking about people's personal information. Okay, so I mean stuff they've shared with us. Like the people they're cool with us talking about it to each other. But
we are talking about people's personal information without keeping you in loop. So sorry about
that. I'll be ending it now. Okay, thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed. Wow, how was it? How much was it? 32 minutes of SCP content and the rest of us just talking about shit. Okay, I'll be ending it now. Bye.
Bye.
Alright, ended it. Okay. I think she's a cop.